HaWah. And y'all don't find that a little bit suspicious? Is it suspicious?
That's suspicious. You don't find that suspicious. You don't find that suspicious.
Hey, love to Adib Ben Eleazar put a lot of screenshots from our investigation. He put them up on TikTok.
You don't
man.
find that suspicious.
So we know this one, right? We got, you don't find that suspicious? Yeah, man, it is, man. Because it tells us right here that Prester John and his neighbors are not very far from Mexico in the Strait of Antioch. What else we got, Eleazar?
Suspicious. You don't find that suspicious.
Another map with anion and covera. What's anion? We got the hydrogen talk, the water, the fountain of youth. We're going to talk primary water today. Love to yo, Seth, the real, get in his classroom because we in the classroom. Let's go. Anion.
Suspicious.
Yeah.
You don't find that suspicious.
Yeah, I do.
You don't find.
Because it's another map of anion. And we just are learning that anion is also a hydrogen ionized extra hydrogen situation, charged up, Naga charged, H negative or H negative, that charges up the water to a healing situation. You know what I'm saying? Talk about healthy water. At the least, it's healthy. At the very least, it's healthy water. At the very most, we're talking about fountain of youth. You know what I'm saying? Do we got to bring Naga to the fountain of youth? Or can we bring the fountain of youth to you, my Naga? But they've been hiding it. You don't find that suspicious that they took Anion off the map? It was on the maps right here, you know, West Coast, so-called, Cali, North America, but they don't call this the Anion Kingdom anymore, right?
You don't find that suspicious.
I do.
You don't find that suspicious.
God. And I love the order of these slides because then we go right into the fountain of youth. Y'all look up this link, man. We done talked about it. Did a black man discover the fountain of youth? Did this copper color guy discover the fountain of youth? I'm just talking Prester John. Yeah. You don't find that suspicious? Let's go. So when we talk Anion, we know we are talking fountain of youth, man. And they just started looking for the fountain of youth in Florida in the last 500 years. But that's when they stopped looking over there in 1645. From 1145, the Portuguese put this monument up to 1645, searching for the priest King Prester John. And I ask, what man do you search for 500 years? This is a body bag for the illusion, man. We got that water. That's why it's connected with the fountain of youth and the Garden of Eden. Let's go. European artists even painted portraits of him and sometimes decorated their maps of Africa with his image. European kings and popes and explorers, from Marco Polo to Ponce de Leon, knew of him and his magical rim. That's where they just found you, Manaka. We're talking India Superior. When you think magical rim, I need you to think Superior India. Remember this Manji, Kateo, because this is orientation pies. You're going to see all this stuff duplicated in their Asia today, but they just duplicated these names over there because they're hiding the fact that you're in the old world over here. And you don't find that suspicious? Come on, man. Come on, boss. European kings, popes, explorers, from Marco Polo to Ponce de Leon, knew of him and his magical rim. That's right, when de Leon and his Spanish compatriots were wandering around the swamps of Florida, trying not to be eaten by alligators, it was a black man and his mythical fountain for which they were likely searching. So we just got the Garden of Eden connected with Florida, right? And now there's waters flowing out the garden, right? And how does that connect to the fountain of youth? Dang, can I get another body bag for the illusion? Because if we know the Gopher Wood is only in Florida, go get 147, 148, and 149. This Preston 150, con. Welcome to the 150th, your 150th installment of your Prester John, Priest King investigation. I'm excited, man, because this is for you, Cons. This is for you. You deserve it. And, let's reap the fruits, man. And, of all the hard work, of all the dedication, of all the faith, of all the, naysayers and walking through the static of Hijack City, going against the grain, flipping the map. You know what I'm saying? It took everything, man, to get here. So it's consistency, man, to get you to 150. We didn't rush to get here. We took our time, and that makes it even sweeter, man. And A-hop to the cons, man. Halal HaWah for the breath and the energy to continue, man. My nugget, Gopher Woods in Florida, the Forehead River systems in Florida. Love to eat Callaway, right? Garden Eden's in Florida, and the rivers are flowing out of Eden. Wouldn't that connect to the fountain of youth? And what's it got to do with anion? Hydrogen anion. Let's go, man, let's go. Yeah, I find that suspicious. Yeah, Wolfram Van Etchenbach had connected Prester John with the Holy Grail. As his keeper, he was said to be 562 years old. Didn't we just say what kind of man you search for 500 years, boss? Count it up. Add it up. Who they searching for, Khan? For 500 years, Khan? Well, he was said to be 562 years old. And he's the keeper of the Holy Grail. So later they put this JC story on the Grail, but the keeper of the Grail, or the function of the Grail, is the priest king Prester John. This is why they're searching for 500 years, and he's said to be 562 years old and going strong. Because when you pull up that link, did a black man discover the fountain of youth? It says that they took 6 baths in that water. 6 baths. Him and the whole tribe took 6 baths in the fountain of youth. And that's before he wrote the letter in 1165. And each time they turned back to the age of 32. So yeah, I don't think time is relevant in your world, my noggin, in India Superior. I don't think time really exists like that when you got your water, because it's only the way. And I find that suspicious, man. But yeah. I remember this map. I'm glad you got these screenshots, Con, because some stuff we forgot, man. We done dropped more. We done forgot more dropped than a lot of other folk had dropped, man. So this is some of the forgotten, man, because it straight up says China. I'm over here trying to prove it's China. It says it right here, it's clear as day. But just like it says China on the custody map. La China. Cateo is Marco Polo called Cateo China, or China Cateo, Cathai, Catan, Joktan, all that, right? We got that. Hey, we flowing. So they just say China. Ain't that the same orientation, Same orientation we getting. Man, it's a little tick-tock, man. It's too ticky, man. It's too ticky. As this Asia flow, right? Same orientation, right? So there it says China, here it just says Asia. But you still got Cathay, which is China. Marco Polo's China, right here. Asia here, China here. A Negro, yeah, a true Negro. Asia, China. Even on a Kapangu map, of course, the Chinese sail upon this sea, China. kind of China. So we got a lot of maps, 1500s, bringing us to China and America, man. Let's go. The true Negro, let's go. Yeah. Prester John, another depiction of the Grand Goose. Let's go. Yeah, this is interesting here, man. The quest to find the Garden of Eden. See, the Khan didn't know we were just breaking this down and Prester 148, 149, the Garden of Eden, right? But I just happened to find this on his TikTok. And he dropped this last year, these screenshots of our, investigation. So again, I appreciate you being in the classroom. He's talking Aniyan, Anahan, Arnan, Anana, connected with the Nova Granata, who is Hanan, Jewish king of Tahama. Man, sound like you flowing, man. You flowing in the water. The quest to find a Garden of Eden sounds like an occupation that should have fallen by the wayside well before the 19th century. No longer did the fanciful medieval geographies of Prester John or Columbus allow for the existence of an exotic, unspoiled earthly paradise. Why? Why not? This was a newer, wiser age. Oh, okay, so there was no more, since you conquered the wild regions of the world, since you invaded, we are no longer unspoiled. No longer did the fanciful medieval geographies of Prester John, because he's on the map, right, or Columbus, allow for the existence of an exotic, unspoiled earthly paradise, which means before they found you, you had an exotic, unspoiled earthly paradise before you were conquered. But yeah, Darwin, he's trying to prove that none of this stuff is real. It's just all about evolution. So dodge the hijack. What we focus on here is that Columbus is looking for the Khan, right? Columbus is looking for Prester John. And we about to go back into that Atlantic Monthly Journal, volume 104. I'm about to belly fly back in Prester 41 and get some more Anion, Arnon drop. And we're going to connect some of this Atlantic Monthly drop in this volume 104, talking about Columbus looking for the Grand Khan. He say he found China 10 days voyage from Cuba. And I say, well, that's a body bag for the illusion, because that China over there ain't no 10 days from this Cuba. We know that, and we know that to be factuals, man. So which China was Marco Polo looking for? What China, what Cathay was Marco Polo, 10 days away from? Popping off. Belly fly. A Lego. But I do find that suspicious, man. I do find that suspicious. Let's get it. It is in the 1561 map of Gostaldes that the name Ania first definitely occurs, being applied to a province in the extreme northern part of the map. Windsor, Bancroft, and other historians have traced the earliest use of the name Ania to Zalteri's map of 1566. So we're just talking about this Strait of Ania. Once placed on the maps, the Strait of Ania became a well-known feature, and for a while served only in their original capacity as dividing Asia from the New World. Dividing Asia from the New World. So it's dividing one world from another world. Okay. I mean, we can take this concept and just hold on to it, all right? Because we just digging on it. Now, Mercator differed from most of his contemporaries in placing the kingdom of Anion upon the American side of the strait. Orientation pies, right? So the Strait of Anion is dividing Asia from the New World, very similar to how we just, saw and in the British Museum map, with Prester John on it, there's a divide happening from this world and another world. And this particular cartographer, Mercator, is putting Anion on the American side of the strait. which is very similar to how we're looking at the David Rumsey map. Orientation pies, orientation enchiladas. Let's flip this around. Okay, so you got North America, right? South America. You got an ice wall with no ice, right? No cap on Antarctica's chest bone. Let's go in. We're in Russia, right? Or Asia over there, right? We'll connect right here at this pivotal point with this anion. Strait of Anion. And here we go, like Mercator would do, put anion on the American side. So we got receipts. The interesting thing is, right, we got the Arsarev. We talked about this unicorn, but we need to go more into the connection with Prester John and the unicorn, and the connection with the land of Prester John and these unicorns that he writes about in the Prester John letter of 1165. That he got unicorns and all kind of cool things. And here you go, Arsarev, and you got Israel, right? We connect this with, the second entrance flow, you know what I'm saying? Flowing to a place where never mankind dwells, so they can keep their code a certain type of way now. Scrolling down the boulevard, right underneath the Arsarev, you got Ania. Provincia is kingdom. So you see these castles here, right? Kingdom. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is. But that's Ania. I don't know if this says Canaan over here or something like that. Almost looks like a Georgia here. You got the mythical Kensei. So this is going to connect to more of your popular China flow. You got this Monkey, which again pops up on the Custody map 1548 as Mangi. Let's keep going. But let's, look, let's focus on Aniya. Right here it says Mangi. Interesting. So M-A-N-G-I, but they put it right in the middle of the USA in North America here. So where's the real Manji, right? Which cartographer got it right? Is it on the other side of the strait? Because Custody puts it way over here, right? But you got Anian here, and then right across the strait you got Ania here. What's the difference? And what's the Ania have to do with the water? Have to do with the hydrogen negative water, right? Look to Yosef, that primary mem sauce. Okay. Surfing the wave. This doubtless being the interpretation of Polo's text, in which the countries of Antioch, etc., are only approached. So Anion is placed on the American side, All right. Because when you dig on Marco Polo, let's get it, man. Remember, we got it from here with this Cathay and Zipangu. A week before he lands at Guadalajara, Columbus opinions that the Penzan suggestion to steer southwest is not made with respect to Kapangu or Japan. Let's go. 2 days after the discovery, he feels he must go on to try and find Kapangu. And when he reaches Cuba, he believes it to be from the signs the Indians make to be this very land again. So right around here, they would put Zapangu. I know we had another map that actually had Kapangu on it. But yeah, Cuba. Here we got Cuba over here. Alright, so they're thinking that this is basically Japan. So if this is China, just put it together, this might be what they're calling Kapangu or Zapangu or Japan. Let's go, man. I mean, you gotta just understand it. Right, we got the Kapangu, Khan. It's all good. It's all good. So I see what you're saying, Khan, because the same placement that they got Cuba in, right, would be, right along the where the Chinese sell upon this ocean. And even though Cuba would be right here, but this is where the Chinese sell upon the sea, and here's the Kapangu here with Japan on it. And they took this off the map, that you don't know where the real Japan, which connects to cities of gold. When you recon the cities of gold, Japan was also considered one, but not that one over there. I'm talking about the Great Isle of Kapangu, because this is a map of America, man, the way that China has been believed it to be, which an old pilot showed King Henry VII in the year 1500. What happened to Japan, the real one? What happened to the real China? What happened to the real India? It's all about India superior. And understand that they pretty much photocopied the old world and put it over here, right, and called this the old world. That's all they did, was photocopy the real spill and act like they're living in your world and walk in your shoes and take your titles, man. It's witchcraft. But these are the map makers, right? And when he reaches Cuba, he believes it for the signs the Indians make to be this very land. At the same time, he's equally anxious to reach the mainland of China. So he's in Cuba. Let's say, we're in Cuba here, right? And he's trying to get to the China. And he's saying that it takes 10 days to get from Cuba to China. And on a boat, especially then, it might take 10 days to get from here to here. But to get from... Well, if China's the whole thing, it don't really take that long at all. Looking at that map, I love to my screenshot on TikTok. Because I find it suspicious.
You don't find that suspicious?
I do.
You don't...
I do, man. I do. Do find that suspicious. Where's that slide? Where's China balls? So here it says China. See Cuba here and China here. So you really going, come on, man. It's a body, man. You going, this would be where Japan would be, the real Japan. And then China's the mainland. The mainland of China would be North America or Asia, boss. I don't think these map makers got it wrong. I don't think they on no play. I know they ain't on no play. Because there's too many other, researchers and academic scholars, man, and sources and primaries. And you know what I'm saying? It's too much backing up this old world flow. And again, is that why they cut off over 1 million acres around the Grand Canyon? I'm going to talk Grand Con because they're looking for Prester John. Cuba to China in this other world is more than 10 days away. We know that. We don't have to be expert navigators to get that drop. Facts. At the same time, he is equally anxious to reach the mainland of China. He is determined to deliver the letters of the Catholic kings to the Grand Khan. He's looking for Prester John. He's looking for Priest King Prester John. He's looking for Cathay. He's looking for the Grand Khan. Remember, he's looking for Cathay. By the way, that's where Catholic comes from. Cathay. Big facts. Did you know? Catholic is Cathay. The Catholics, they Judah-ish, right? They always bite the name, bite the title. But yeah, you know, they're looking for Prester John. Yeah. No longer did the fanciful medieval geographies of Prester John or Columbus allow for the existence of an exotic, unspoiled, earthly paradise. Columbus is looking for the Grand Khan, right? Catholic, Cathay, let's go. The Catholic kings to the Grand Khan. Now it's a hopeless and anachronism. Now with the said Grand Khan, he gathers from the natives a Cuban monarch was now at war. So this priest king that they're finding is already at war. Let's go. You know about the war. We talked about the Genghis Khan, Prester John situation. We talked about the Moor on Moor situation. So the Cuban monarch was now at war. The Khan's great ships, he understood, came to Cuba. The Khan's ships came to Cuba. Remember, Cuba used to be called HaWah. Wow. But they spelled it Jua. HaWah. Let's go. And that's where the Khan is. That's where the priest king. That's where the Israelite king is. At least one of them. Mm-hmm. Now he's saying the Khan's great ships came to Cuba, 10 days journey from the Chinese mainland. 10 days journey from Cuba to the Chinese mainland, right up in Mexico. And right up in Mexico, you go right to Prester John's kingdom, the mainland, the Chinese Cathay, Chinese mainland. Right. Prester's on the map. They searching for Prester John, 1145 to 1645. It sparks off this crusades. They really want to come conquer the promised land, steal the resources, do what they did, right? Prester's on the map in the British Museum. India Superior's over here. Cathay of China. Let's go. Right here in Cathay, in India Superior, right? India Superior, right? Japan, China. Cuba, Japan. Trying to get to the mainland and to China. What did he say? 10 days journey from the Chinese mainland, the cotton of the West Indies would sure be a good market in these cities. His Majesty was perhaps in the grand city of Cathay. Oh. Okay, he's very close to Prester John. Are we seeing the picture? Are we seeing clearly? God. His Majesty was perhaps in the grand city of Cathay. It is certain, he writes, while still off the Cuban coast, that I am in front of Zato and Gense of Amoy Harbor and Hong Kong, and again in Caribou and Canada. Hold on. Because you know those G's and C's and K's are interchangeable, and we know the C's, K's, and Q's are interchangeable, so they can spell Quivera with a Q or with a K, right? Or they can go C and G on us, you know, based on Hebrew rules. Because they say Ginsay, right? Guinsay. Well, according to that's why I keep this chart up, man. Because in Hebrew rules, the G became the C. Well, it's not, you know, it's what they did to it, right? It's the flip. It was Gam, they changed it to a C. So these G's and C's are tricky. They get very interchangeable. We just saw the Kensei on the map over here. Ania. You see this Kensei region or regnum or kingdom right here. Same kingdom, man, connected with Anion and all this, and Azareth and Anion, Quivera. Miss Quivera is Eber or Kibera, which is also a city of gold, of course. It's right there I mean, four corners, right? America. What's this got to do with Queen Khalifa's griffins, huh? What's it got to do with Queen Khalifa's griffin? Yeah, okay. What's it got to do with the Kensei? And is the Kensei the same as this, Gensei here, Kensei here? And he says, I am in front of Zato and Gensei. So he's writing like, yo, he's feeling he's right here. But he's reaching the mainland over here on this side. Coming off that Cuba flow. I think the real Japan would be right around here. Yeah. Okay. And what is this land right here, man? Y'all, I still ain't got no answers, man. We gotta start looking up these names over here. Is this like connected with the Mu flow? The Lemuria Mu flow? So I don't hear about no one taking no passport over here, boss. Huh? It's a lot of kingdoms, though. It's a lot going on in this region. Cali would be what? Cali's right here. California, which is all the way down where Baja California, and that Vermelho means red, so you got a Red Sea sighting. Is this the real Red Sea Moshe had to cross? And is this the strait that they crossed in Second Esdras, going to a place where never mankind dwelt? Because that's why there's Israel on the map. Is it why? Alicorno, right? Unicorns. Kensei, Ania. Are we getting clearer? Because if Mangi is really over here in North America, Mangi, then Kensei would be over here too, is the point I'm saying, because Columbus is coming up this way, or, looking for the Grand Khan, trying to reach the Chinese mainland. And this will all be China. And this is Mangi, even though Rumsey put it over here as well, on the other side. But we see it all connects, though, so it's all good. Either way, we're talking this whole situation here. Let's keep going, man. We just getting warmed up. This is just the intro. 150, let's get it. Which was described to him as the mainland behind Hispaniola. In our language, the north coast of South America. Columbus believes he has at last located the name and kingdom of the Khan. Where? We're talking South America. We're talking Cathay. Yeah, man. We're just talking Prester John. I mean, we're just talking Priest King Prester John. That's all we do. Talking us some Prester John. Let's go. All right. So that's out the Atlantic Monthly, volume 104. You can pull up this link in the Canadian Encyclopedia if you want to get some more on the connection between the Strait of Anian and the Bering Strait. Part of the legendary Northwest Passage linking the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, the Old and the New World, they're saying, right? The name probably originated from Ania, a Chinese province. Where's China? Mentioned in the 1559 edition of Marco Polo's book. It first appeared on a map issued by Italian cartographer Giacomo Gastaldi around 1562. And we're looking at a Gastaldi map from 1548 with the India Superior on it. So we're using the same resources, cartography, that Marco Polo and them were connected with, man. And the Bering Strait again is Ania, and they're saying Ania. That we just got right there on the David Rumsey map, connected, of course, with America. All the Same flow. And of course, we got Russia and we got the Rus flow. So, however we go with this, we got Naga royals popping off. You got royals of the kingdom popping off right here in America. Got some of that. Strait of Anian, separating Asia from America. The strait grew in European imagination. Everything to them was this foundational fantasy, this mythology. The strait grew in European imagination as an easy sea lane linking Europe with the residents of the Great Khan in Cathay. Khan. So they knew they could reach the Great Khan in Cathay by hitting up this strait. They can come down this barren strait to get to Prester John's kingdom, man. And how does this connect to Peru? How does this connect to the we're talking the hidden countries in America, such as Florida, the kingdom of Anian in the land of Peru. Bang. How does it connect to Peru? Let's keep going. So get that drop. We're just talking about the Great Khan. And that this mystical. I mean, Anian, Managa, if it connects with Israel, right? If it connects with Judah and Utah and Udall and all this stuff, you know what I mean, on the map, then of course it's going to connect with Jerusalem, right? They love to teach me to be priestly, man. Of course it connects us with Jerusalem, you know what I'm saying? So if it connects with Judah, it connects with Jerusalem, right? Ania is a kingdom, but it's also a name really for the kingdom of Israel all the way around. The way you break it down, you just got, you know, the Hanan, you know what I mean, the you know, Canaan, right? They say Canaan, we say Hanan, right? So it's showing you the duplicates, the phantoms, man, and they are the reflection. You are the real, man. You know what I'm saying? They duplicated your names and titles over there, but you are legitimate royals right here. And this is why you had to figure this out on your own. And they say, what you gonna do with this information? All you gotta do is realize. All you gotta do is visualize, Khan, and your reality will be restored. And these are true to life factoids. Mystical situation that we're calling the what? The mythical Strait of Anian. So it's a myth. It's all a myth. It's an imagination. Prester John's a myth. When you put all these myths together, you might reach reality zone. You know what I'm saying? You might reach reality when you put all these myths together. Facts. We're just talking America, man. We're just talking Cathay. We're just talking the Great Khan, the Grand Khan, Priest King, Prester John. Now here's where it just, here's where the marbles start to roll. Another great source that I, just dug up, man, in the last few hours or so, going crazy, digging. The 10 Lost Tribes of World History by Zevi Ben Dor Benite. All right, let's go. Let's get it. We'll get it from right here. Pull up the link. However, Garcia's main question was who had populated the Americas, Managa, and how. He was convinced. In other words, how did Prester John get there? Well, then you got to go all the way back to Mu to figure this out, but they're going to connect it to Atlantis. Let's go. He was convinced that the earliest ancestors of the American Indians were, in fact, Hebrews. Now remember, we just talked about the races of men. So let's finish this and then go back to the other one, because we got a bunch of sources up, all connecting Prester John to America, all connected, this anion situation. And then you can go back into the theory of connecting it with this Arnon situation. And I forgot which river or situation Horace Butler connected Arnon with, but I know it's connecting with Jordan, and I know it's connected with the Yarden, and I know it's all very important with this whole Moabite, Israelite, you know what I'm saying, territorial beef, man. And this is again Out the Races of Men by Robert Knox. Their labors prove that everything there that lived was specifically different from living beings on any other land, including you, Copper-colored Naga. You are different than any other living beings on any other land. That even the apes differ specifically from the apes of the old world by having an additional tooth and by being without the central spot or hole in the retina of the eye found in man and in the apes of the old world. That the new world was an erroneous phrase, seeing that it was a very old world in every sense of the word. I've been yelling for hours. I don't want to keep yelling on you. I'm just saying, come on, man, it's right here. And we in the races of men. How long have we been digging on the races of men? And watch what comes out of it, left the Aqua Tide battle.
Wow.
Found in man and the apes in the old world, that the new world was an erroneous phrase, man. Stop calling it a new world when you know it's the oldest world, and they're telling you this. This researcher, Robert Knox, is telling you this in Races of Men. We're talking about the dark races of men right now. The dark races of men. So it's erroneous to call this a new world, seeing that it was a very old world in every sense of the word. That the copper color race of America, stop. Stop, man. Let's get it again. American in the 1828 Webster Dictionary, a native of America, originally applied to the aboriginals or the originals, or copper-colored races. So you, copper-colored Naga, body bag, that's who we're talking about. Because you were just found here by the Europeans. And then they took your title. Okay. Let's go. Are we in the races of men? Let's get it. We got so many great sources up. It's a beautiful thing. It's erroneous to call this the new world when it's very old, man. Very old world in every sense of the word. That the copper color races in America, we just got it. That race which extended throughout the length and breadth of the land. Negro, you extend throughout the length and breadth of the land. You are the American. You are the descendant of Priest King Prester John, King David. It's happening right now, right in your face. You are Israel. But you copper-colored Nagas were neither metamorphosed Welshmen, nor Connaught men, nor Norwegians, nor even Polynesians. The last hypothesis, I believe, offered the credulous for the peopling of America. The credulous, we're going to go crazy. Always accepting that standby of the thoroughbred theorist. Namely, listen up, he went through all this to tell you the drop. Namely, that the copper Indians, that is, the true Americans, were the lost tribes of Israel, who fled there on rafts, headed, I suppose, by Prester John.
Any questions?
So to know that the true Nagas, the true Americans, the copper colored cons, the copper Indians, the originators, right? The originals were already here rocking with Prester John. Where they so fled on rafts, they don't know. There ain't no video. They're trying to put your story together just like you are. But they know that the first Nagas here, they know that the original cons here are the tribes of Israel rocking with Prester John. And I find that mighty suspicious. Because, you know, this is who they searching for. Right? I find it suspicious. I can't help it. I can't help it.
You don't find that
Suspicious? I do find it suspicious. You find it suspicious?
suspicious.
I do.
You don't find that
I do, boss.
suspicious.
I do. Slow down, slow down, slow
You don't
down.
find that
I do, boss. Slow down. So you got Robert Knox over here, racism man, kicking it that his truest theory is that these copper colored cons right here in America are Prester John and them, you know. And here you go, the mythical straits of Antioch by Godfrey Sykes saying the same thing. It's a little small, I'll read it to you, but you know, we already got it. Right? We got the same thing right here. Mythical straits of Antioch, right? Pull it up. Got this last time. Oh man, I need some vibration right quick, man. Oh wow, make sure y'all stretch, you know, do your stretch routine. Do your key gong, get your key power, man. Developing the idea a little further, after the discovery of the mainland north of the isthmus, we find that the maker of the MS map illustrated in outline has placed Prester John and his idolatrous neighbors, because King David was surrounded by hijacks. He had a lot of idol worshippers around King David and Judah at that time, Moab and him, right? But Prester John is not very far from Mexico, the same way we just got. You know what I'm saying? That the most credulous, the most credibility they can give to the peopling of the Americas is that these copper-colored cons, these copper Indians, the true Americans, are the true Israelites, and this is their number one secret, man. Is that the true Americans are the Israelites, because this is going to shake up Christianity when they find out that you came over here to massacre, genocide on, American Holocaust is on these copper Indians that are the lost tribes of Israel. This is who you came over here massacring. This is who they tricked you into thinking that they were savages because they weren't Christians, they were Israelites, and Israelites are not rocking with no JC. They got their 5 books of Moshe, they got their code, they ain't rocking with no JC. We already got a shepherd forever. We already got a Daud. They already rocking with Prester John. They rocking with Prester John here, according to Robert Knox.
suspicious.
And yes, it is suspicious that in Antioch, we know Prester John is not very far from Mexico, according to Godfrey Sykes. Halal HaWah. Looking at this Dead Sea situation, like I said, they have a habit of reflecting, right? The real stuff over there. So over there, you got the state of Israel, and they want you to think that's the real one, right? And so if this isn't the real one, then everything around this probably isn't the real either. Because they are all in cahoots to put in Jerusalem here. You think this is the real Jerusalem? Jordan? The Wadi al-Mujid is what they would call the Arnon now. Something like that. Hold up. Where's my R not flip? So this connects with the Dead Sea, right? And then this Arnon or Anion we got last time, because they're confused. They keep switching it from Anion to Arnon now. It's originally Anion. They flipped it to Arnon. But it's a boundary between the Amorites and the Moabites. And afterwards between Moab and Israel. So this Anion is a boundary between Moab and Israel. And we have to say, well, which Anion? Is it the Strait of Anion? That's the boundary? And would that mean, you know, that Moab is coming from the other side? Or supposed to be over there? Or what? Flip it over. And what's in the center, man? Because ain't no ice there either, man. You know, or this is the Andean kingdom. So where's the boundary? Where's the Arnon River? So we gotta look into these river systems, you know. And we need some translators, because something tells me something special about these areas like this here as well. So we're talking ancient boundaries, biblical boundaries, and it has everything to do with Antioch. It has everything to do with Arnon. And today they would call it the Wadi al-Mujib. But if you look at this, right, it starts to remind you, if you were able to photocopy this and put it right in America, you know, around that Utah, Salt Lake City, it's a lot of recon coming out. Love to Chief Moray, man, UB News, man, talking about the Dead Seas connected with this Salt Lake City situation. The Great Salt Lake, right? A remnant of Lake Bonneville. So what they call Bonneville is their name for really like a mini ocean that used to be there, a massive freshwater lake, fresh water. So we're talking anion, hydrogen anion, right? H negative. What do you think that fresh water did for a cup? This Lake Bonneville, the ancient lake, was about 20,000 square miles in size. 20,000 square miles of fresh water, my nigga, covering almost a quarter of modern day Utah. So a quarter, 25% of Utah was just this huge freshwater situation that they connect to the glacial period. I start thinking about them glaciation lines like in that Ishmael migrating map, right? Now, dodge the hijack of how long ago, right? But just think about this thing really being there recently, because something happened with this Anasazi migration, 900 AD to 1300 something AD. Everyone starts migrating because of the famine. The waters are drying up everywhere, you know what I'm saying? There's multiple resources talking about this water just disappearing under the ground. What's it got to do with the damn dams? What are they doing to our water, right? So, all right. Here's a old world auction map. Lake Bonneville. Just imagine how big this was. I'm gonna show you a comparison. with what it was and what it is now. And I want you to correlate this in your mind with what they're putting over there at the other side of the map in the Middle East as the Dead Sea. We know there ain't no four-headed river system connected with the Garden of Eden. There's definitely not nothing like this over there. They had to shrink it, like to try to make it something small, right? I think they did it on purpose. Prehistoric inland sea, man. Not even a river, inland sea that covered a massive area, including half the present day. So we got a quarter over there. Now they say half of Utah was water. Parts of Idaho and even eastern Nevada. We're talking that water. Look at the Utah glaciation or geographical survey. You know, we're going to the glaciations, man. Utah's mountains also contain ancient deposits associated with the world's most severe ice age, right? Then we say, when was this ice age? Because it's important to know. There we go. We're getting linky. And of course, I think the Little Ice Age, if you reverse the curse, is the Big Ice Age. And that will put it right around that 1300 mark when the Anasazi migration's popping off and the water's disappearing and all this stuff's happening and these glaciation lines are on the maps. Because Ishmael's migrating. But did you know they're migrating during a glaciation, recession? Like, this is when the glaciations were receding, man. So you see these moraines, which are just rocks and soil deposited by retreating glaciers. And all over you see these moraines of retreating glaciers. The M-O-R is a moraine. God. You got the Wabash, M-O-R, moraine. You got the Fort Wayne moraine. You know, again, look at the Fort Wayne Treaty, because that's the one that they took over 30 million acres from the Cheektowaga, Cherokee, and everybody else. This is what set off the Tecumseh War of 1811, 1812. This is what led to the Battle of Tippecanoe. And this is why they got X marking the spot right here over the Battle of Tippecanoe. All this has to do with Tecumseh and Israel's last stand, because if it didn't have nothing to do with Israel, what would it have to do with Morocco? What would it have to do with Moab in there, huh? Because Ishmael's migrating at the same damn time as these treaties of peace and friendship, right? Where they are making a new confederacy with the United States government to fight against the Indians or the Cheektowaga, Cherokee and them. To be buddy-buddy, to be their friend, to be side by side, because they have a similar interest. They set up their Mecca, they set up their Muhammad, they set up their Morocco, right where X marks the spot where Tecumseh lost his brother, the prophet, in Prophetstown in the Battle of Tippecanoe. And then they start migrating in. for over 100 years, hundreds of years. They keep it going. They tried, but with the Kentuckians, and the Kentuckians are responsible for the killing of the Coonsay up near Ontario, Canada, man. You don't think that was a backdoor? Moorish Science Temple. Do you think you backdoor the Israelite priests, kings, and queens? Do you think you backdoor all the children, the tribe, the house of Daud, the house of Prester John? Do you think you backdoored us, Ishmael, while you migrated? And why would this harmonics cause an ice age? This holy mountain of harmonic, because sound and frequency and vibration is everything, as we're learning now. Did you cause a little ice age, Morocco? Did you cause a little ice age, Europeans? Because several causes have been proposed. Cyclical lows and solar radiation, heightened volcanic activity, changes in the ocean circulation. What? Oceans changing course? Variations in Earth's orbit, axial tilt. Well, we know we ain't spinning, so that's not it. Inherent variability in global climate, decreases in human population. Uh-oh. So while you were migrating, while you were searching for Prester John, while you were doing your Papal Bull Doom Diverses 1452, saying subjugate the Saracens, and the Saracens are Israel, the people of Prester John. And these decreases in population angered HaWah so much that it caused a doggone ice age in America. It was the coldest time ever reported when these hijacks were coming over here during an ice age, boss. Chickamauga Cherokee, we were fighting these people during an ice age, boss. We're talking about White Walkers. I'm talking about Game of Thrones. Massacres, right? By who? Genghis Khan, because he's invading Prester John. And the Black Death, and the epidemics emerging in the Americas upon European contact, boss, caused the Ice Age, boss. I'm just theorizing, right? What caused these glaciations? Are they ancient, or did it just happen in the Little Ice Age? Let's keep going. Talking glaciation lines. I'm gonna leave this link for you. You can dig on it even more. There's something mystical about the Grand Canyon in Utah Zion National Park, right? Just dig on, recon, man. Just dig on the glaciation lines as they, seem to expose a lot of what happened with this Lake Bonneville situation, Because these glaciers and this flooding of Lake Bonneville might be attributed to, again, this artificial mountain of harmonic situation. And if you cause an ice age and we got Lake Bonneville thawing out, then now is a flood. Now you done caused a flood because of your damn harmonics. Moab in there, because Ishmael's migrating. While we at war, you migrating. You must not have been threatened. You must have had support from your treaties of peace and friendship. Because ain't nobody gonna come over here during the Ice Age while we are being genocided on if you didn't feel like you were very, very safe on the right side of things, right? Hijacks it. This is a link from slchistory.org, Rachel's SLC History, Obscure History, Archaeology of Salt Lake City Area, plus some Utah West Desert by Rachel Quist. What they do? Lake Bonneville was a Pleistocene age lake, the last ice age. So they're This thing is so pristine, right? So highly regarded that they're connecting it with like the last ice age. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how pristine and ancient we talk when we talking about this Dead Sea or Salt Lake, Salt Lake Sea, whatever they call it today. Salt Lake River, whatever they call it. Right there in Salt Lake, Utah, Salt Lake City, right? Similar to how the Great Salt Lake is today, the shorelines of ancient Lake Bonneville responded to changes in climate. The lake level increased when it was wetter, cooler, and it lowered when it was warmer, drier. Lake Bonneville was one of several closed basin lake systems in the Great Basin. And then we just say, like, we got to dig more about this Great Basin desert. Because something tells me it wasn't always a desert. Because it had so much resources coming out of it, man. Yeah, and one of my knockers reminded me about this flesh pit. That's what we're talking about, this flesh pit that seemed to be connected with an old organism, you know what I mean, that predates all these things. So what kind of dragon energy we got around here, man? So they want to connect it to the Ice Age. Now, let me just show you, how things have changed, right? So you got the Bonneville shoreline. So all the blue areas where it used to be. Then it went to this. So it went from this, then it dried up and went to this. Then it dried up some more and went to that. Then that. Then that. And here we are now. Any questions? Where did all this water go? This is one of their main historical, mysterious questions, right? But it correlates with the Anasazi migration and this famine happening in the region around that time that made them have to migrate because they were really being fed off of this giant inland sea. But what happened to shrink it like this? Was it just some random flooding? Was it some damn dams? Look at this stuff, man. What happened, huh? What happened? Okay, so this is what we got today. But when we talk Dead Sea, or as they will put it over here today, this Arnon flow and this Wada Amuja, like this is what, this would be the Dead Sea now, right? The Dead Sea, right? Or the Wada Muja. And just compare it with this Lake Bonneville situation. And this is probably why they had to shrink it so much. They had to make it real small, right? You had to make it real small today, right? They couldn't let you see what it was because they don't have nothing over here to this magnitude that they can compare with it. Because this just don't compare no more. This don't compare no more. This little thing here. But we're going to get more proof if you need it. More recon. Let's go. And keep the basins in mind because it has everything to do with everything when you talk Four Corners. Did their harmonics cause an ice age, or was it Genghis Khan and them, or is this all the same thing? Is the European contact the same as the Genghis Khan invasion? Adjusting our timelines. Okay. When we get back, talking about some Keith Sweat, man, some Sweat hypothesis, and we know we're gonna do a dismount connecting our high Amazon queens again, just, reintroducing it, keeping it fresh, so we understand Antarctica plays heavy. Because we know Tarazonta plays heavy. Tara who? Tara what? North America, South America, Florida, California. But all this land is mapped out, man. It's more land mapped out here than Africa, Asia combined, right? And what's this got to do with Moroni? We're going to dig on some Mormon flow, some Joseph Smith flow, as we prepare for our new series called Mormons Digging Deeper. Let's dig deeper on this Mormon flow. Brand new series right here, man, for the cons, right here on our YouTube flow. So, who's this Moroni, right? Who's this jabroni Moroni, man? No, who's the Moor, right? And what's that got to do with the waters? And why is it called Tarazonta, which means Holy Land right here? Holy Land certainly connects with our high Amazon queens and kings. And according to the Sweat hypothesis, Antarctica once connected with United States. And that Southwest is exactly what we're talking about when we talk Great Basin, right? So all this once connected with Antarctica, which is probably what's so secretive about the Great Basin desert. Huh? Everything in purple here. They call the Great Basin. Look how huge this is. You know how many resources coming out of this area that they've been mining and mining and mining? This is all of Utah down there, man. Arizona, right? California too, Nevada, Oregon, 200,000 square miles was once connected with Antarctica. Let's go. Yeah. Now they say that there was a natural dam, some time ago. An alluvial fan dam at the Zinda threshold stopped the rising Lake Bonneville about 16,000 years ago. Like it was a natural dam, they said. I mean, what are they calling that? We don't know, right? So the dam broke about 14,500 years ago, jaws the hijacks, causing catastrophic flood that changed the landscape of the Snake River Plain. Is this why California became an island? Did all this happen around the 1800s in this huge catastrophe around the comet of 1811? The same comet came with a great earthquake of 1811. Remember that Tecumseh flow? And then this great earthquake, changed everything. It changed the landscape of everything in 1811, 1812. So it seems like some type of reset situation around that time. And Tecumseh is going to war around that time. The last stand of Israel's happening at the same damn time. What's all this got to do with Atlantis? The sinking of Atlantis with this flood situation. What's it got to do with Noah's Ark and Florida and the Gopher Wood, man? Let's keep going, man. Back to TikTok. Back to TikTok. So.
Check this out.
Hold on.
Americas is Grenada, Israel, the promised land.
So again, love to Chief Moray, man. Doing great work. This is one of the maps he put together. I'm really digging on it, man, because, obviously it has the Judah flow, Ephraim, all this around the Utah flow, but it connects all this throughout Arizona and Goshen, Havala, Look, no one has all the answers, but we're asking the right questions. We're asking the right questions. And again, Canaan is still dropped the sea. Antioch, so you got to choose your Canaan, and this is why we are seeing clearly. Let's go.
Check this out.
And shout out to Amhotep Chavez El Bey. I got his book, man, and hey, just keep dropping it. You know what I'm saying? This information is too valuable for us to argue whose information is it and, whose classroom, and all this. Right now, the information itself just needs to get out. I'm playing for a bigger prize than you to give me some credit on this and tell me I'm this and tell me I'm that. We playing for the promised land. We ain't tripping on who's dropping the information. As long as it's being dropped and as long as it's waking up the tribe, man, I'm happy, man. So shalom to all the code keepers and all the truth seekers and all the kinds spreading the wave and surfing the wave. Let go.
This is Grenada, Israel, the Promised Land. All of these are biblical place names in Utah.
It's hard to argue. They say, oh, Joseph Smith renamed everything. Well, you got to believe that. Or he found everything. Zion, Kanyan. Is Canyon just Kanyan or Johannes or John? Is it Kanjan? Conjunction? Is the Grand Canyon just the Grand Kanjan? There you go.
Including Jerusalem. Utah's nickname is the Beehive State. There is a mountain in eastern Nevada named Mount Moriah, and it is over 12,000 feet high.
Let's go.
In Utah, not only is there a River Jordan, but it runs out of a freshwater lake into the Great Salt Lake, which is remarkably like the Dead Sea. There is also a Mount Nebo in Utah, approximately 12,000 feet high. So yes, with evidence this strong, the real Judah was in Utah. People try to say that it was the Mormons that gave these places like Utah biblical names to support their position as Jews. However, this explanation fails miserably because there are no 12,000 feet high mountains in modern day Israel. Therefore, the real Judah or Israel had to be in Utah because it fits the description of the kingdom of Judah perfectly. The name Utah is derived from the name of the Ute tribe. It means the people of the mountains in the Ute language. According to other sources, Utah is derived from the Apache name Yuda, which means tall. In the so-called Spanish language, it was said as Utah. Subsequently, the English-speaking people adapted the word Utah. There is no J in Hebrew. Therefore, Judah is Yuda, especially when you consider the fact that the J and Y have the same meaning and numerical value and are interchangeable as a result. Okay. Manasseh, Mount Nebo, Mount Pisgah, Jericho, South Galilee, Ephraim, Daniel, Nephi, Moab, Eden, Goshen, Jordan. Come on, man. Part 2 coming soon.
Pop off, Con, man. My TikTok cons are going crazy, man. Shout out to the TikTok cons, man. We just set a page up on
What if
on the
everything
top.
you knew about the origins of civilization?
You know what I mean? Hit up TikTok, 432 Drop Radio. Got a brand new page over here, brand new flow. We're going to start dropping, man. Just because the drop's already on TikTok, so I just want to at least have a home for it, man. Let's go, man. America's the true old world. Lego. Shout out to Mr. Creek 7. Let's go.
Civilization was wrong. What if the cradle of civilization wasn't where we've always been taught it was? Imagine for a moment a world where America is the true old world, the birthplace of ancient civilizations lost to time. Such a proposition challenges the very bedrock of our understanding of history. But there is a theory that proposes America as the original Egypt, the first Africa, the true old world. This theory is not without evidence, and the clues, though scattered and elusive, paint a fascinating picture. Firstly, consider the Alabaster Sphinx of Memphis, Tennessee. Discovered in 1911, this artifact bears a striking resemblance to the iconic Sphinx of Giza, thousands of miles away in modern-day Egypt. Could this be a mere coincidence, or is it evidence of a connection between the two lands, lost in the mists of time? Secondly, there's the Grand Canyon, one of the natural wonders of the world. What if it wasn't just a geological marvel, but a silent testament to a civilization long since vanished? Some argue.
I love this picture right here because you see the same Sphinx, arms. And I've heard a story that originally it was supposed to be like Anubis or something. And they cut the head off or something happened. And then they kind of put a newer face on it, you know what I'm saying? But it was like a dog sitting there. It's supposed to be a dog. I don't know, man. But it's Grand Canyon, the Grand Canyon. And why do they block over 1 million acres where we can't even dig on it or get to that water, right? What kind of Naga water is right over there, man? What kind of anion is flowing?
Civilization long since vanished. Some argue that the canyon holds the secrets of an ancient Egypt, right here in America. Then there's the matter of the Mississippi River. This mighty waterway, some say, is the true Nile of the Old World. Its fertile plains and strategic location echo the life-giving role of Egypt, right here in America. Then there's the matter of the Mississippi River. This mighty waterway, some say, is the true Nile of the Old World. Its fertile plains and strategic location echo the life-giving role of the Nile in ancient Egypt. Could it be that the Mississippi was the cradle of a civilization just...
And is the Mississippi the Nile or the Nahal? And is that just another title for the names of one of the rivers, great rivers, flowing out of terrestrial paradise in America?
Just as grand, just as influential as that of the Nile? Utah is Judah, claims the theory. The similarities in the names are undeniable, but is there more to it than that? Could Utah have been a region of cultural and religious significance akin to Judah in the Middle East? Lastly, consider the Gulf of Baja. Some posit that this body of water is the real Red Sea. It's a bold claim, but one that brings a fresh perspective to our understanding of ancient geography. This theory, that America is the true Old World, presents evidence that invites more questions than it answers. It's a tale of sphinxes and canyons, rivers and gulfs, all intertwined in a narrative that challenges our understanding of history. It suggests that the story of civilization might have unfolded not from the sands of Egypt or the plains of Mesopotamia, but from the heartlands of America. In conclusion, the theory presents America as the birthplace of ancient civilizations, the original Egypt,
the birthplace, the motherland,
first Africa. It's a theory backed by evidence, albeit unconventional, that demands...
But it is backed by evidence.
And a second look at our understanding of history. So the next time you gaze upon the Grand Canyon or the Mississippi River, remember, you might just be looking at the cradle of civilization.
Woo! And is that what's so powerful, about the Grand Canyon and going there? And are you staring at the cradle? The cradle. I said we're going to dig on these Mormons, man. This is read.upcolorado.com. I'm belly flopping. Let's go. Oh, let's talk Dead Sea, right? So, belly flop. Subtle and sometimes not so subtle comparisons of Utah with the Middle East bring to mind two remarkable illustrations that make the comparison very explicit. By the late 19th century, when the railroad sought aggressively to promote Utah, they employed landscape images and maps. For example, 1886, a promotional pamphlet on the Great Salt Lake called this geographical feature the Dead Sea of America. Say it with me. Body bag for the illusion. So it's not just us crazy guys on YouTube. 1886, they already were making the comparison. And you don't think Joseph Smith made it before that? We're talking Mormons digging deeper, right? So the Dead Sea of America is the Dead Sea. The Little Ice Age is the Big Ice Age. Like India Superior is India Superior. Employing a stunning colored lithograph to make the comparison. And this is their comparison to Great Salt Lake, Utah Lake, the Promised Land. Wow. A decade later, the Rio Grande Western Railroad published a promotional brochure called Pointer to Prosperity, That informative brochure lauded the amenities of the new state of Utah. The new state of Utah, just like the state of Israel over there, right? 1947. And its back cover featured a striking comparison drawn from a bird's eye perspective, as if the map maker were high above the earth. This ingenious map juxtaposed a portion of the Holy Land with Utah's Wasatch Front. Where'd you see this before? We're looking at different maps, right? We're looking at orientation pies and orientation enchiladas. Could Ishmael migrate? I don't know. Could be something, could be nothing. The Wabash Moraine, this Wabash River. What's it got to do with the Wasatch Front? This comparative map reveals the general configuration of the areas adjacent to Jerusalem and Salt Lake City are very similar. One letter rule. To many people of a century ago, this maps Utah as Holy Land. Comparison was not only physically striking, but culturally significant. So this comparison was not only physically striking, because it looks exactly like what it is, but culturally significant. After all, the Mormons had settled their new Zion, creating what the map calls a promised land that was reminiscent of Jews' holy land or homeland, today's Israel, Palestine, yada, yada, yada. Thus, this striking comparison map suggests more than a simple topographical comparison. It also implies a strong historical and geographical connection between the Holy Land and its Utah counterpart. Holy Land is Terra Sancta. Because Terra Sancta means Holy Land. Right? And what's it got to do with the sweat hypothesis? That the southwest United States connected with Antarctica. And what's it got to do with Tarzan, which means Holy Land? And the sweat hypothesis puts Antarctica connecting at one point with the United States, right? Or North America, or India Superior. You see how it's curving up, showing you that there's a natural circle that this Antarctic circle is making, right? Like a boundary, like a border, right? You see the curve going up. You want to show me the curve? I'm going to show you a curve. A circular curve, right? And this Tarzan means Holy Land. And all you got to do is go straight down Cali to get there. Straight down from Khalifa, right? To get to Tarzan, which the sweat hypothesis connects Antarctica with this area, southwest United States. And Tarzan means Holy Land. So this connection between Holy Land and Utah just makes perfect sense with the sweat hypothesis. But you got to do the recon. Statements by the Mormons themselves helped cement their identity as an old world people living in a new land. Moreover, at this time, the term promised land is heard in light of the Mormons' aggressive and successful colonizing of the desert. Colonizers of the desert. So the Dead Sea in America connects with the colonizing of the desert. And I'm just asking about these large great basins in the desert, because the desert got colonized. between the mountains, significantly for both the ancient Jews and the earliest Mormons arriving in Utah. The Promised Land was lightly settled in between two major empires, Mesopotamia to the north and Egypt to the south. Similarly, the Mormons' Promised Land, man, this is our Promised Land, Hijack City, but they're just talking the more, man. Essentially unclaimed, really? Anything to do with genocide and war, lying between the United States and the more popular shores of Moshekan, California. What does Moses got to do with California? Khalifa. Same tribe. Let's get this part right here. Keep going, man. The publication of the striking comparison map illustration could not have been better time. In 1896, the national economy was rebounding after the financial panic 3 years earlier. Significantly, the railroad that commissioned the Pointer to Prosperity pamphlet was undergoing a transformation, as was Utah. Originally built as a narrow gauge line from Denver to Salt Lake City, the energetic Rio Grande Western was being converted to standard gauge at just that time. This meant that the rolling stock of any railroad could pass over its line via interchange, which is to say that the Rio Grande Western was now in league with a nationwide rail network. Similarly, with the polygamy issue essentially resolved in Utah, now part of the Union in 1896, entrepreneurs could feel less apprehensive about investing in the Beehive State. Had the striking comparison map been created 2 decades earlier, that Promised Land would have seemed more like a contested but largely Mormon-controlled kingdom rather than a land open to all comers. The striking comparison equates a part of America with the Holy Land in order to reaffirm that the promise of success is inevitable through wise investment, hard work. Oh, stop it. You know the Dead Sea's in America, boss. Y'all know. This is why you got it here. So why you putting it over there? Y'all think this is the Dead Sea, boss? Y'all think this is the Dead Sea? Or are we still talking Dead Sea in America? Wow. Yeah, it's a lot of drop on this. We're going to pick it up in Mormons Digging Deeper, man, because you see how interesting this gets when we start talking Dead Sea, man. And then would it connect with the Dead Sea Scrolls? And where did they find the Dead Sea Scrolls? The LDS Church, y'all got some explaining to do. Given the Mormon Church's concern, it is interesting that the architectural style chosen for the huge Saltaire Pavilion was Moorish. Which is crazy because it's being in New Mexico, you find all these Moorish, Spaniard gardens, Spanish Moorish gardens and all this stuff there. Japanese gardens, all this stuff in New Mexico, man. And what does the Moorish have to do with the Mormon? The Mormon-owned Desert News described the stunning effect the building created at Lakeside as followed: the magnificent pavilion rising Venice-like. We got this before in American Holocaust, man, that this area looked like 10 times bigger and greater than the Venice over there. They called this the real Venice. Out of the waves and stupendous and graceful beauty deepened in its semi-Moorish architecture. What's the Moorish got to do with the Mormon? The suspicion, I think it's suspicious, that what one saw was not firm structural reality, but a rather delightful oriental dream. Where's the Orient? Where's the Far East? Where's Asia? That is not surprising considering that Saltaire's lavish, eclectic design expressed the high oriental style. Who's the oriental cons? Who's the Asiatic kind? So common in pavilions and amusement parks elsewhere. That means that these world trade or shalak, these what's it called, the world fairs with these oriental style Moorish masonry buildings, they didn't just knock them down because the fair was over. They knocked them down because the fair was a cover story and they just wanted to knock down the architecture. Note that the term Oriental is used positively here. The Orient was associated with the lavish and beautiful spectacles that could enchant my naga. So why not employ its architecture for just that purpose? So when they talk about you in India Superior and Garden of Eden, they're talking about an enchantment. Facts, facts. We're gonna get more of this. You know what I mean? Chosen people, chosen land. Utah as the Holy Land, and Holy Land is Tarzanta, and Tarzanta, Tarzanta is, you already know, right? Tarzanta who? Tarzanta what? Holy Land. And what does Antarctica have to do with anything? Sweat hypothesis, right? It's all connected with East Antarctica, United States. Southwest, that is. Dig on this link. This is the Lake Bonneville flood. If you want to dig more into it, man, get more intricate about what they say happened, you got it. I'll leave this link for you. We're going to keep it going, man. History of Lake Bonneville. Dig on it. Red Rock Pass is a narrow valley just north of the Cache Valley, directly south of Downey, Idaho, bounded by 2 mountain ranges, all right? So they're going to bring it back, 14,000 years and all this stuff and try to put it together, but you see how it shrunk from here to the Provo level, to the Gilbert level, man. Here comes the glaciations. Here comes the glaciations. What does all this glaciation have to do with this glaciation? Because all these little dots you're seeing are the limit of glaciation, and this is recent glaciation. This is Little Ice Age, so-called glaciation, right? Which is the Big Ice Age. Last time we talked some Tamar, so let's keep talking Tamar. Come on, y'all. Queen Tamar, man, let's go. We know David is an innocent kind. We're proving his innocence. We're showing the duplications and the phantoms that they are doing with this Uriah situation. And we went, get the last drop, man, we went back into this Uri situation, how Tamar was arranged marriage to this Rus prince, and he ended up wanting to take over the kingdom, and King David's son, David Soslan the Sixth, fought on her behalf and put him down twice, man, and that became something in the Bible of David slaying this innocent Uriah situation, mighty man, you know what I mean? But in reality, he was a mighty man. He was supposed to be arranged to be married to Queen Tamar, who is Bathsheba. Yeah, they call her Sheba too. So now you have a Sheba and David, duplication, and which one is the real one? Did David slay an innocent man, or did he save the kingdom fighting side by side with his Amazon queen, Queen Tamar, also known as Sheba? While the nobles busied themselves with warfare, Tamar devoted much of her attention to Georgian culture. Under her reign, the country began to find its own national identity, a unique blend of the East and West. Her life served as an inspiration for the epic poem, The Knight in the Panther Skin. Let's go. Because I want to talk swan nights and barbars. Remember, barbar, like barbari, barbar in Hebrew means swan. And we dug on these swan nights in the Forbidden Histories of America by Daniel Lowe. That Sylvanus Texas, you know, he's one of the first swan knights, and he had swan boats. King Solomon in the 700s was already in America with swan ships. But in the Bible, you got the ships of Solomon, the fleet. Solomon Texas had a fleet, and we're talking about the progenitor of the Toltecs, the Toltecs, and the Texas Texas. Shout out to my Texas knockers. So Queen Tamar inspired the poem The Knight in the Panther's Skin, which is to this day widely considered the greatest piece of Georgian literature ever made. I got a piece of this, man. Let's just jump in. Oh, wow. Yeah, let's just jump in, and I want to get the whole thing, but you know, I got some fragments here. This is Georgian literature. Remember, all this Georgia flow connects with the Hebrew flow. Because even when they talk about Raja Chola, they said his language, you know, connects to this Indian stylized Georgian Hebrew, which also is what this encrypted Voynich manuscript is written in. And we got to get back on the Voynich manuscript because it still ain't been cracked. They still can't crack it. And it has to do with the writings of Prester John, they say. So we talking the roots because we talking the truth. So it says, although the poem takes place in the fictional settings of India and Arabia, quote unquote. So which India? I'd have to guess we talking India Superior. I'd have to guess we talking the same India on the Kapangu map. Right? Here is Ptolemy's India. Full of golden spices like Sheba and the spices, right? And here's this Kensei. I knew I saw it somewhere else. Right? Connected almost to Japan, right? Kapangu, Sapangu. So here Kensei, like we hypothesized, but now we got some cartographic evidence. The Kensei is right here, man, in the mainland of North America. In the David Rumsey map. You know what I mean? He's putting this Kensei right here on the other side of the strait. So just like we got Mangi Provincia or Regnum or Kingdom, right? We got the Mangi flow here. We got the Mangi flow here. So over here, it's on the other side of the strait from North America. But Castaldi's putting it in North America, so-called. And they're putting China way over here, connected with it, but I think that's just the beginning of the phantoms and duplication. But if Mangi is actually here, it makes sense that China's here, all connected. So if Mangi's over here in North America, Kensei seems like it would be too, is all I'm saying. And this is exactly what the map to King Henry in 1500s is saying with this Kensei here. Or Gensei with a G, right? Before it had a G on it. Got him. And what is this land right here, man? What is this, man? The most interesting place on earth. What's poppin'? Antioch. Okay. Let's get a little bit of this and let's surf the wave and press the 66 for a little bit. So this poem takes place back to the India flow, right? Arabia, who's the Arab proper, right? Events in these distant lands are but a colorful allegory of the rule of Queen Tamar of Georgia and the size and glory of the kingdom of Georgia in its golden age. And this is why, you know, when you dig on this David Soslan again, Exilarch. He's the Exilarch. Remember, the Exilarchs are, you know, the ruler of these exiled Jews or Jews during exile, like Babylonian captivities. But he's also the king of Georgia, just like Tamar the Great. Right? They rocking Georgia together, and this is who they had to fight off, the Uri imposter over there, because he was trying to take the kingdom of Georgia. And this Georgian writing is all American Hebrew stuff. Let's get back to the night and the panther skin. Sounds like Black Panther, man. Let's go. I love that title, man. It tells of two heroes, Avtandil and Tariel, and their quest to find the object of love, Nestin Darajan, an allegorical embodiment of Queen Tamar. Nesta, huh? Old king renowned, old queen renowned for wise counsel. These idealized heroes and devoted friends are united by courtly love, generosity, sincerity, and dedication. The poem is regarded as the coronation of thought, poetic, and philosophical art of medieval Georgia. We're talking some art right now. They said it's a masterpiece of Georgian literature, man. They can't tell us we ain't digging on masterful academia. We ain't digging on the best. So let's go. So it was written during the golden age of the kingdom of Georgia and the reign of Queen Tamar, who was enthroned by her father, King George III of Georgia. Tamar was celebrated by poets, and her beauty, intelligence, sounds like Sheba, right? Queen Sheba. Intelligence and diplomatic skills, she expanded the Georgian kingdom to its historical maximum, man. Maximum pop-offness for the Aqua. Out to my Aquas. Repulsed invasions and established protectorates over many areas, Muslim and Christian, man. She was popping off. Under her reign, the economy prospered. Georgian trading caravans reached Ayyubid, Egypt, and Kievan Rus. Why Rus? Because the Rus is the truth. You got to connect these with the Ruses and the Byzantines. And now we're talking to Moses, Mossack, the founder. So everything we digging on is correlating and making sense when we say the original Byzantine is under Mossack, the founder, which is Moses. And that's why it was taken out 1 year after the Papal Bull, 1453. And Key Rus connects with the Hebrews just like Queen Tamar does, Manana. Just like Queen Sheba does. So let's get a little bit of this prologue. Rustal Veli says that he wrote this poem to praise the King Tamar, the queen called King. Let's get it. By shedding tears of blood, we praise Queen Tamara, whose praise I, not ill-chosen, have told forth. For ink I have used a lake of jet, and for pen a pliant crystal. Whoever hears a jagged spear will pierce his heart. Okay, that's stanza number 4. Let's dig on this part. For he praises the king consort David Soslan. For the goddess whom David the son serves in his course by all rights, so he got a right to be here. For the goddess whom David the son serves in his course by all rights, I have put this tale into verse as entertainment for her knights. She who strikes terror from the east to the west, wherever she fights. Those who are traitors she destroys, those who are loyal she delights. Ooh, stanza 166. I need to get the whole thing, but I'm just taking you into the art, right? The masterful art. And I know that digging on this is going to lead us to more drama, more drama, man. Because you're talking about the love between David and Sheba, just like the scriptures, but you don't know that Queen Tamar is also called Sheba, and this David is the son of a David, right? This David is the son of Prester John, Raja Raja Cholas of Soli, Pandya. Yeah. We need to get all the drop, but you see how beautiful it is, man. For the goddess whom David the son serves in his course by all rights, I have put this tale into verse as entertainment for her knights. She who strikes terror from the east to the west, wherever she fights. Those who are traitors she destroys, those who are loyal she delights. Because, like I said, Queen Sheba is Queen Tamar, and we got that connected with this document called The Queen of Sheba, Legend, Literature, and Love by Deborah M. Let's get it bigger here. Cooker Harris, I believe. All right, let's get some of this drop, man. Halal HaWah. We're talking Tamar. We're talking Sheba. They'll turn us into saints, even though we died fighting them. They'll say, yeah, I respect him. You're saint such and such. We'll worship you. Sick motherfuckers, sick bastards, man. So deifying us is what the hijack do, because they ain't got nothing real, man. They ain't got no real mem sauce. Hijack ain't got no mem sauce, my nice. So they got to get it from us. So, watch this particular spin, and we're going to get some nuggets out of this, but this is when one of those authors that's going to try to go crazy just to defame, or, degrade the character, of King David as to, Queen Sheba was his mother and daughter. I don't was his daughter and his wife. Like he married his daughter named Sheba. They're gonna get into that because they can't find a connection of it being a title and not just one person. Although they're gonna separate the title of Tamar, very easily, but they can't do that with Sheba for some reason. So let's read this, piece, but focus on the Queen Tamar, because this is very, very interesting, my night. Religious scholars and archaeologists have highly debated the very existence of King Solomon. Ralph Ellis proposes a novel theory. Remember, we're just talking theories, Khan. These are varied theories on Solomon's lineage and identity, so don't take none of this, as some, ipso facto, what I'm saying? We're just talking a few theories, and here's one of these theories. All right, so religious scholars and archaeologists, whoever they may be, have debated the existence of King Solomon. Now, this guy named Ralph Ellis, this jabroni, right, he proposes a novel theory that may solve the problem of researchers' claims that Solomon never lived, because they claim there is no evidence to prove his existence. Ellis writes that the title Queen of Sheba, and so they're going to say it's a title, but let's see where they take it. And Solomon's mother, Bathsheba's name are the same. She was both daughter and wife to King David. Come on, man. Where they do that at? How can you admit it's a title but you can't have a Queen Sheba as Solomon's wife and a Queen Sheba as David's wife. Hijack it. You can't separate that and see that David married a Sheba and Solomon married a Sheba. Just like you could say that queen married a David and that queen married a David. Doesn't mean that's her son. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a lot of hogwash. But let's keep going, man. According to Ellis, Bathsheba's affirmed name was Tamar the second. Now this is very. Say it with me, body bag for the illusion. So all we needed was to know that this exists, right? That it's possible, right? That these titles are interchangeable, whether we talk Sheba and Tamar. That there's an affirmed name, right? There's names and titles. So when we talk Queen Tamar, you know, Prince Uri and all this, that's also Sheba. That's David, and that's Uriah. Uri is Uriah. When we talk about, you know, this mighty man, did David kill a man? Did David murder a man is the question, right? Or was he protecting his queen, Bathsheba? Harry, this is the spot right here that I want to focus on, man. This is where we make our stand right here, Drop Nation. Let's go, man. Hey, Drop Nation, y'all out there, man? Everybody good? How y'all reeling? How y'all really, man? Talk to me, man. How you really? Right. You know what I mean? But it's all good, though, right? It's all good? You know what I mean? Because you're going to have a plan, because you KTC. You'll get through it, my nigga. I know it's been rough. I know it's been, you know, all that, man. But we're here to continue to, you know, magnetize my niggas, you know, pop off my niggas, you know what I'm saying? Take your mind off of, you know what I mean, just all that low vibration and just, you know, raise your frequency so you could see clearly and think clearly, you know what I mean? And this investigation is not just some, you know, something we do in our spare time, but we're actually looking for that water, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Water. We're actually looking for that water. That fountain, man. Real enough. You know what I mean? Like you can't talk Prester John without talking that fountain. And I want to reread some of that Fountain of Youth drop that we did, you know, from the very top. Did a black man discover the Fountain of Youth? I mean, because it just lets you know how much they've been searching for the Fountain of Youth, for the water, you know what I'm saying? So you gotta believe that the Creator has given you living water and that this water is being hidden from you. And that you don't have to be under no death spell and make no deal with the devil, that you gotta die when you got living water right beneath your feet bone. You just have limited your perception. You think it's unreachable. You think it's unattainable. That's your problem, not ours. We Drop Nation. We got that water. All right. So Queen of Sheba, which again, Daniel Lowe breaks down into daughter of the oath, right? The covenant. So does it make sense that this daughter representing the covenant is David's daughter and his wife? Come on, man. Come on, man. You talking... Now you're talking shit. You did. We ain't talking Moab, you know what I'm saying? No disrespect, we ain't trying to bring Moab into this, but when we talk King David, Moab is gonna keep coming up because he's against this frequency that wants to turn us into non-remembrance. Right, David's against the frequency that wants to erase a nugget. When you talk Moab, you're talking Lot and Ammon, right? And you're talking this incest that popped off, you know what I mean? So they're now projecting this on what? King David. And now he got to be with this Sheba, but this Sheba got to be his daughter, and it got to be his wife. Come on, man. Where they do that at? Nothing to back it up. Ain't we code keepers? What do we say against bearing false witness by not? What else are you gonna give us to back up this relationship? Or are you just gonna move on and talk about some other stuff? I think he's just gonna move on and talk about some other stuff, you know, but I'll leave a link. If you find some greater evidence, you know what I'm saying, let us know, man. But other than that, Queen Sheba is a title. We are talking the covenant, the daughter of the oath. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. We're talking Shambhala, Shimbala. We're talking Central and South America. We're talking the land of Ophir. We're talking the Queens. Talking the Khans. The land of promise, the land of purity. Yeah, so we see clearly. What does this author see? This author sees a connection between Sheba and Queen Tamar. You're going to see how important this connection is. I mean, this is really, this is really that nugget, you know what I'm saying, right here. And she became second chief wife of King David and was Solomon's mother. Right. Because the original Sheba, who had Solomon, yeah, that's his mother. Okay, so Queen Tamar is Solomon. And the original Sheba that had Solomon is the same as the Queen Lady Hannah, which is Ania, Prester's wife. Lady Hannah, another title, but she's also a Sheba. A Sheba means that you're a daughter of the oath, so they're passing that title like the David title. Khan. And Lady Hannah is the mother of Solomon, so we see the exact reflections, or, you know, the breadcrumbs, you know what I'm saying? We're finding back to the trail of reality here, man, when we talk David. And tomorrow we're talking David and Sheba, daughter of the oath, man. Let's get a couple more minutes and I'm going to skirt into 45 or 55. So we went from Prester 41, Prester 66, and then Prester 55. And we're going to dig on some Discord flow, man. Have some good time, man. This is Prester 150 in your head bone. We had to, you know, cover some bases here, man, for the original wave surfers. Let's go. Solomon's mother. She was David's daughter by her namesake mother, Maacah Tamar the first. Dang. So, you got... Yeah, think about it. Mar or more just means great, right? More, great. The Ta is like the Tau in Hebrew, covenant. So it's like, who got the covenant of greatness? Who's the daughter of the oath? Who's the daughter of the 7 cities of gold? You got David. Back it up. Queen of Sheba, Solomon's mother, Bathsheba, is Maacah Tamar II, who is the daughter, this author is saying, of David and the first Tamar. Hey, y'all follow this? I mean, help me out, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Let's do this again. I want to do my best to see clearly the perspective of this author. Queen Tamar II, who is Bathsheba that marries David. So this Bathsheba that marries David is the daughter of David and another Sheba? So if you're going to compare this to biblical history, I mean, look, hey, I'm in it for the truth and for facts, you know what I'm saying? When we first started this King David investigation, we didn't know, or this Prester John investigation, this is before we really comprehended Hosea 3. Hosea 3, Search for HaWah, and David came about, I want to say almost halfway through our Prester Johns when we realized we've been doing this the whole time, searching for our creator, which is KTC, keeping our code, and King David. So if you go back in our original Prester Johns, we're asking, is Prester John a hijack? Is he not a hijack? Is he Genghis Khan? Is he da-da-da-da? We threw all this stuff out there because we trying to figure it out.
Dig on it.
Then we got hot on the trail, and then we started getting more of that water, of that mem sauce.
That water. And we still got it, Khan. Let's keep going, because, you know, it's a beautiful flow. So now we talk Queen Sheba, right? Now we say Tamar, the Great. We can, as wave surfers that just got some intel on Tamar and Sheba, say, is this Sheba? Okay, so assuming this is Sheba the Great, and Sheba had to run the kingdom. Sheba was running the kingdom, right? And Solomon then marries a Sheba too, because they all are marrying Sheba, just like these queens are marrying Davids. David 1, David 2, David 3, Sheba 1, 2, 3, 2. She marries David Soslan. Again, David Soslan is the son is the son of Prester John Jadaron. But this Jadaron, he's the son of Aton, father of David Soslan, king consort, Khan. So they ruling, man, side by side, same time. Then comes Genghis Khan invasion, 1202, fighting Prester John, right? So this David and Tamar, or Sheba, all right, follow me now. That's David and Sheba, Bathsheba. And in the biblical story, a biblical account, you got Uriah, the mighty man who was murdered by David. But in this story, you got Prince Uri, not Uriah, Uri. And Uri is Uriah. But in this story, in the Georgian history, he's going against Queen Sheba and Tamar. He's going against the kingdom. He's trying to form a military coup. He's trying to do an overthrow. He's trying to overthrow everything, right? And this is when David has to step up, and he has to put Uriah or Uri down twice in 2 different battles. But we don't get that in the biblical flow. We get like a little miniature version of this. Oh, Uriah comes home and this. Bathsheba's bathing, all romanticized and hijacked, you know what I mean? Just to make David a murderer, just to put smut on David's name. But this Prince Uri was not a good guy at all. This link right here, Tamar of Georgia, called Uri. I mean, the language is pretty crazy, you know what I'm saying? But, what's it say? There was little you could say about Uri other than he was a douchebag. Pretty much from his first move after the wedding was to start warring against neighboring Muslims for little to no apparent reason, topping off the turd sandwich that was his personality. We have a healthy heap of slave, stooping, heavy drinking, publicly insulting Tamar for not bearing him a child. So she divorced him. Tamar divorced this Uri. So he couldn't have been all good like this Uriah that they try to make in the Bible version, right? But we see the duplication. She had to get him out the way. Then comes Uri. he ganged up with some malcontent Georgia nobles and led 2 different insurrections against her. She and her new husband. Who's the new husband? Who's the king consort, right? David, also known as Raja Hiraja's boy. It's the same David Saltzman, spelled differently, but now they say Exelarch Saltzman, king of Georgia, right? Exelarch, son of Prester John. It's the same David Saltzman. So this is all, you know what I mean, all in the fam. And this Uri, he tried to take the kingdom twice. And she and her new husband, who was a champion ass kicker, this being one of the reasons she chose him, soundly trounced both uprisings. So he had to put Uri down 2 times. But in the Bible, he slays Uriah, you know, for Bathsheba. But he does slay Uriah for Uri for Sheba. But Uri is already making insurrections, you know what I'm saying, 2 different insurrections against her after she divorced him. So this is not, you know, the story that we get with Uriah over there, but this is the story in the Georgian history of Uri and David and Bathsheba. Let's go to 55. We just surfing away. Lego. Or Thebe. Now you got what they call Thebes, right? So Sheba is also Thebes, according to the Elihu Project, and they took this off the internet. I had to print out a hard copy. They took this off the internet, so I advise you pay attention, guys. Kanka was on the bank of the Thebe or Sheba River, man. Ooh, we're gonna talk Kanka, because we're talking about the 3rd India. Princess of Mishafit was the daughter of the last Amazon High Queen, and they were ruling also in Antarctica. Now we could talk sweat hypothesis. Tarzanka, Holy Land, to reign in Kanka. Kanka is the same as the Ganges. Kanka is the same as the Ganges. This is from wisdomlib.org. When we talk ganja, depiction of the descent of ganja. God. Just jumping into it. Aurora has, in all 72 references to ganja in his hymns, he uses the form kanku instead of kankai, ganje or ganga, or kanka, ganja. And this became the Ganges, my naga. This became the Ganges. And the Ganges connects to this paradisical river, but they connected with their India flow and Sheba and all these things over there. But I'm saying this is a phantom duplication of what's happening over here. Because where else do you see the Ganges? Right here, right? Ganges, right? Say it with me, cuz. Body bag for the illusion. What's the Ganges doing in North America? What's it doing in Asia? Where's North America? What's it doing next to Cathay? The Ganges River must be flowing out of terrestrial paradise, but it's also known as the Kankai or the Kanka. Just keep that in mind. You got the drop. We're just talking about Religion and Philosophy of Tabarim by M.A. Dorai Wangza Swami, 1958. The ganja is the kanka. The ganja is the kanka, right? Keep that in mind when we talk kanka. And the 3rd India in Australia is code word for Antarctica. We got that before. It just means the land under, the land below, which was originally Antarctica. When they talk Australia, they talk in Antarctica. So when you see Australia, I need you to translate that to Antarctica and connect that with Tara Santa. And the Kankai is the Ganges on the map. Hi, Amazon Queen.
Because they try to put this in Australia. This queen of Morocco. Uh-oh.
Uh-huh.
Let me see where we're getting at.
Uh-huh. Let's get it.
This was a gateway to a hidden Amazon city. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Come on.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Wow. All right. I mean, I'm surfing the wave. Left Morocco, moved to Paragala, the fairy castle, to take her role as the Amazon High Queen. This was a gateway to a hidden Amazon city. The Persians, Indians, and Armenians in their legends divide the Amazons or fairies.
Ooh, so this fairy talk in these cartoons, these fairies connect with these Amazons. And when they keep saying gateways, and they keep saying hi Amazon Queen, and when they bring in Antarctica or Australia, remember we're talking Holy Land, we're talking Tara Santa. And what's it got to do with the gateways? And what's it got to do with Moroni? We just surfing a wave. Holy Land.
Into two groups known as Peri and Deves. The Peri are seen as good fairies. Remember, the fairies are also code word for dragon. We got that before. Who broke with the bad fairies, which they call Deves. In fact, the Peris are those Amazon queens who reign from Paragala, and the Deves or Dewi, those who reign in Kanka.
What does the Peri have to do with Paris? What does the Peri have to do with Parias? What does it have to do with Parias? What does Peri have to do with Peri in Mexico? We're talking high Amazon queens, let's go. Kanka, Ganji.
Uh-oh.
Ganji.
Descendants of the Queen of Sheba.
Yeah.
Or Thebe.
Or Tamar.
Now you got what they call Thebes, right?
You think Queen Tamar was frontline soldiering and she wasn't a high Amazon queen with warrior skills, my nog? And she had to team up with David, who was known for kicking butt, to get this mighty man, Prince Uri, back, who came twice to get the kingdom? Let's go, man.
Kanka was on the bank of the Thebe or Sheba River, man.
And if Kanka was on the bank of the Sheba River, then what's up? Kanka's the Ganges, and is this on the bank of the Sheba River? Is Kanka or the Ganges on the bank of the Sheba River in America, man? Am I not? This is getting too smooth.
Because they try to put this in Australia, but my naga, we can connect this where they couldn't when we talk Amazon.
Antarctica.
And shout out to the lady dragons on the wall. Can you dig it?
Yeah, wait. And they try to flip the Deweys, and the one's good, one's bad. I think they're flipping them, of course. But the divas, where they say the females are divas, they're also Deweys, D-E-W-I. And the same D-E-W-I is the David title. So you have female Davids and male Davids, according to this David title. You could look at David the First again, whose nickname is also Dewey. Body bag. Don't say dodecahedron. We gotta talk about dodecahedron. The Raiden King. We're talking Kingdom of Rhoda, Arizona. Rubati Gadi Mani, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben. David is the Khan of all the tribes, right? He's the first. Husband of Lady Hannah, same as Prester John, same person. Dewey. In fact, the Petri are those Amazon queens who reign from Paragala, and the Deves, or Diva, or Dewey, those who reign in Kanka. And we got the Dewey King, right? Let's get it. Got him.
Kanka was on the bank of the Devi or Sheba River, man. Cause they try to put this in Australia, but my nigga, we can connect this where they couldn't when we talk Amazon. And shout out to the lady dragons on the wall. Can you dig it?
Aqua.
So
Yeah.
these are the Amazon queens.
Aqua.
And notice it says of Mani, right? So it's those is Mani in here. So now we've done a little recon. We can see when they put that Mani, Gadi, Rubani, queen, this is an Amazon queen.
And that's the wife of Solomon. She's also an Amazon queen of Rubati Gadi and Mani. David the First, Prester John, is also a king of Rubati Gadi and Mani.
And this is why when we was digging on, you know what I mean, all that Allen Osset situation, it also connected with the Scyths, which connected the Scytians or the Scythos.
And the Allens.
And the Scythian women may have inspired the Amazon men. So the Scyths are the Amazons, are the Ossets, are the Allens.
Wow.
The remnant.
The Allens, the Ossets, the Scythians, or Scotians, Scotia, Scotland, Princess Scotia, Hyksos, Hebrew Queen, Scotia. My nigga, it's all in front of your face bone.
Are the high queens. Love to my lady dragons on the wall.
God,
Wow. We gotta do a whole series on this high queen. I told y'all we got a Khalifa series coming, but it's opening up on us like this there. And these will be the queens when I look at narrowing down this situation. Labana is estimated between 1135 and 1195. So where could
What's this got to do with Lebanon?
she fit in? 1135, 1195. You got this Rubani situation again. So we saw the Mani, we saw the Mani, now we got the Rubani. Now we got the Rubani. Okay, we're just talking about the Amazon High Queen. So whichever one she fits in at, it's getting very interesting, Khan. It's getting very interesting. Lady Esther. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Esther Flow.
Uh-oh, boss. Would this put us around that Mordecai situation? I mean, would that push that to around 1500s, 1600s?
Did we say, you know what I'm saying, talk about how the book of Daniel could have easily been written around the 1600s, something like that? Uh-huh. Lady Esther of Mizrahi, like Mizraim, huh? Uh-huh. Huh? Come on, man. Man, I'm liking this connection with the lady dragons on the wall, man. I'm liking this link a lot. I gotta print this out before this gets snatched down as well, because I can see it certainly did get snatched down. I'm glad I printed it out. And my niggas, hey, I know you got them on the Prester packs and the Ether packs. Halal HaWah. Let's connect this ganja conquer one more time. We're gonna have a good time connecting with my sisters, my Amazon queens. I mean, I'm sorry, sisters. I'm sorry how they do y'all. They do us like this too. Hijack City, you know, Hijack City. Con. What? There were a number of Amazonian queen residences. Hold on. Let's back it up right here. Back it up right quick. Just right quick, because it said the princes of Ardalan were originally a branch of Rubani royal families that became the rulers of Ardalan and Timor, like Tamar? Like Tamar, after they conquered it from the Chinese after 1293. It was on the other side of the original huge sea river called the Ganga or Kanka or the Ganges. But not the present one over there. They're letting you know. It was all happening over here. Because we still talking Ganges. The Ganges. Cathay, Ganges. Sheba and them are right here. Florida boss. I said Florida boss. Yeah. I'm liking this link a lot. I gotta print this out before this gets snatched down as well, because I can see we're gonna have a good time connecting with my sisters, my Amazon queens. I mean, I'm sorry, sisters. I'm sorry how they do y'all. They do us like this too. Hijack City, you know, Hijack City. What? There were a number of Amazonian queen residences. Let's back it up right here. It is not altogether clear if the Amazon high queens moved from residence to residence in a regular cycle, as did other Amazon or fairy queens. Again, when they say fairy, that's another code word for dragon queens, my naga. According to ancient and medieval legends, there were a number of Amazon or fairy queens in different parts of the world who all owed allegiance to the Amazon high queen. Now, who you think was holding that high seat? We're talking Sheba, right? We're talking Khalifa. Now look at this, man. The high queen also had a seat on Antarctica. I'm out of here, man. Whoa. I'm out of here, man. And again, they keep throwing this 1530 date. The Amazon queen had a high seat on Antarctica before 1530, God. And you're wondering why they call it Tara Sancta. Amazon queens were already represented in Tarzanta because it's right below Khalifa, man. A straight shot through the Pacific. And all this connects with the Anion. And that water, right? That hydrogen, Naga water. That fountain of youth. Which all these maps keep linking up to the same damn thing. Circa 1530. And then right around here, you got what? Prester John. So this is everything relative. And that's why we got this Prester John, Raja Hiraja. Popping off. Man, we popping off. 55 parts of the Prester John investigation. Halal HaWah. How's my wave surface doing? Did you become the water yet? Or do you still need your surfboard? It's the fourth wave. You are the water. Roger hit Roger's shoulder, all right? Prester John, this is why this is all connected, my now. So, 1530. 1530. Remember that map, that German map that had Antarctica and it had Shambhala on top of it? They said, why is there Shambhala in Antarctica? What's really in Antarctica frozen over? Is that a spell? The High Queen also had a high seat on Antarctica before 1530. There was another in Africa and another in South America. There were a number of Amazonian queen residences on Antarctica, including the Ellsworth Mountains, Henderson Pyramid, and the Prince Charles Mountains, or the Moore Pyramids. And look up Antarctica pyramids, and you're going to start seeing the drop, man. Seeing the drop. I mean, I'm just touching base on my high Amazon queens and Antarctica. I need you to do the rest to know that we in Tarzanta and Antarctica connects direct when we talk about the sweat hypothesis, that the idea that the southwestern United States and eastern Antarctica were once joined together in a supercontinent called Rhoda, right? Rodinia, then called the Kingdom of Rhoda in Arizona. And you're just talking about the Rhoda or the Raiden King, right? Everybody got it. And Amani. Hey, who got the drop, man? We in the Discord popping off, man. A lot of this drop, we talking about it on a daily basis. We got all kinds of different, you know what I'm saying, categories for you to drop your drop. Just come drop your drop. I pop in here, man, as much as possible. Up Two Tick Rick Confusion said the avatar equals Prester John equals Dragon King. Culmination of the four elements to make the fifth element. Halal HaWah. God. The Black King of Ethiopia. Do we got a translation? The Black King of Ethiopia with such power gave his treasure. He has much renown throughout the world with people in his faith, but those Christians who are partly under the king of the great homeland are under his rule, and they're Christians, but by water and baptism. Yeah. Try to put it on him, but we know we're talking the fountain of youth. We're talking about that water. Love the Two Tick. Nappy Go-Fred, what he do? Halal HaWah. We got everybody waving. Saying what it good. Israelite Plight, what it do? Vicky, what it do, man? All the cons in here, man. Yeah, we talking about that Lord of the Panther skin. Or man in the Panther skin. Hey, we know we talking our queens too, though, man. Zion Train said I missed the first half. Gotta go back. Hey, it's all good. Belly flop, Zion. We belly flopping, man. Israel Plight, what it do? Shalom. All right, we up. We in here. Hey, how the Naga, what it do? We are definitely in here, man. Shalom. All right, everybody waving. So be one, what it do? So be one, Kenobi. Con Anthony, what it do? All right. PJ 150, can't wait for a Con. Black Panther, then only one Eno. Let go. Eno is Neo, like the Matrix. A Lego, like an Enoch flow. Hey, we here, Con 150. You know. Hey, Divine Origin drop some drop. What they talking about, Prester John? Divine, what they talking about, man? Hold up, man, hold up. Can I just get it like that? Can I get it like that? What they talking about, man? I just want to see, man. What they talking about?
Once upon a time in a land far, far away, there was a king. He was not only a great king, but also a committed Christian. His name was Prester John, and he reigned over 72 countries. The lands that he ruled were rich with gold and silver and overflowing with fantastic creatures.
Okay.
King Prester wrote to many popes in Rome to declare his faithfulness to the Catholic Church. He also described in his letters many beasts that were unknown in the Western world. Men with 3 eyes and horns on their foreheads, unicorns, female warriors who fought on horseback, and men who lived to be 200 years old. Of course, it's easy to dismiss this story as a fairy tale, but there is some evidence to support the legend actually having its roots firmly planted in historical fact. And his name crops up again and again during the Middle Ages. So just who was Prester John really, and where did he come from? Welcome to Medieval Madness. Origins. The starting point of Prester John is as uncertain as the legend itself. His name first appears in a chronicle on the 2 cities written by Otto, Bishop of Freising, in 1146. Here he is referred to as Presbyter Johannes and is said to have defeated an army of Persians and Medes, who were an ancient Iranian people, before he failed to reach Jerusalem. This account was told to Otto by Hugh of Jabala, a bishop from the Latin Crusader states. He describes how Prester John had failed to help the Crusaders in the Holy Land, although he was involved in other battles. Elements of the tale point to the Battle of Katwan, which took place in 1141. Then the Seljuk Turk ruler, Sanjar of Persia.
And here you see the Kara Katai, right? This is the tribe of Prester John. The Katai is Cathay, or Katan Jakta, Alego, the Eberflow.
Was defeated by the Empire of Kara Katai, an East Asian people who had created a kingdom in the center of Asia after being thrown out of China. It was a massive defeat for the Muslims with a reported loss of 30,000 men, and was so shocking because one of the most powerful leaders in Islam, Seljuk Sultan Sanjar, was overwhelmed by a group of nomadic barbarians.
Yeah, barbarians. Remember, barbar means swan in Hebrew, so these Aryans, these barbars are Swanites of Sylvanus, Texas, Solomon and them, man. Solomon and them, David's people. Back it up, man.
In Islam, Seljuk Sultan Sanjar.
And look, Prester's putting work on these on these Islamic peoples, man. And he's putting work on these Christian people. So unless you're rocking with the Hebrew Khan, we don't care if you're Muslim or Christian. None of that got nothing to do with us. We are Hebrew Khan.
Was overwhelmed by a group of nomadic barbarians. In fact, the news was so surprising that it soon spread across the Middle East and into Europe. Historic stories of war like this one about Sultan Sanjar can become so legendary that they still survive today. That's not just on YouTube history channels like ours, but also through art. These depictions can become modern wonders in their own right. Take Picasso's Guernica, one of his most famous pieces painted in response to Nazi Germany's actions in Spain. Although the painting has never been sold, experts estimate it would fetch at least $200 million at auction. Before you get disheartened at the idea that you'll never be able to afford such a piece of history, our sponsor today makes owning art a reality for everyone, including you, our viewers. The last few years have not been great for building your wealth, but despite that, auction houses have seen record totals as the price of art as Patriarch of the Indies. At this ceremony, John was introduced to papal envoys who were negotiating with the Byzantine Emperor John II Komnenos. The Pope's representative spoke about the splendor of Rome and managed to persuade John to carry on his journey to the Eternal City. When he finally arrived there, the people were amazed to see a man from the farthest extremes of the world. At an audience with Calixtus II, who was presiding as Pope at the time, John described his home.
Look how they try to whitewash the Prester, make him lighter and lighter, man. Just know that, you know, when they talk, what they say.
Calixtus II, who was presiding as Pope at the time. At an audience with Calixtus II, who was presiding as Pope at the time, John described his homeland as a place of miracles.
When they talk John the Baptist in the New Testament, they are talking Prester John, who has the fountain of youth and has his tribe washing in it, taking baths because they turn back to the age of 32, even if they're damn near 1,000 years old. That's the secret. And then they took this situation, turning into a fake Christian baptism to symbolize what the fountain of youth water was doing, giving you eternal life, right? Let's go.
Miracles and wonders. He said that its capital city of Holna had the highest walls in the world, which were so wide that 2 chariots were able to ride side by side along them without falling off. Only faithful Christians were allowed to live there. Any non-Christian who entered had to convert to Christianity immediately or suffer execution.
Hi, Jack.
A river-
We ain't talking Christians. We're talking Hebrews. We're talking code keepers. But they keep inserting their name in there, Christians, right? But we know we're talking code keepers.
of paradise ran through the city and deposited gemstones and gold, which made the citizens very rich. Just outside of the walls was a church which stored the body of the red-haired St. Thomas the Apostle, who once a year rose from the dead and bestowed his blessings upon the faithful. Medieval Christians believed that after Pentecost, when the Holy Spirit descended upon Jesus' disciples, St. Thomas was sent to the state of Kerala, India in AD 52 to preach the gospel. There he converted Hindus into Christians and baptized them. When he died, St. Thomas was buried there. It is thought that Prester John must have been part of the community of the St. Thomas Christians, if not its patriarch, because he was so knowledgeable about the legend. The myth. Then suddenly, in the 1170s, the myth of Prester John really kicks off when an intriguing letter arrives at the court of the Byzantine Emperor Manuel I Komnenos. The letter began with the author introducing himself as, quote, Prester John of the Indies, greatest king of the Christians. He then goes on to describe his lands as reaching as far as the Near East and consisting of, quote, 3 Indies, India Major, Middle India, and India Minor.
Yeah, so India superior and India inferior, right? All the Asias.
Lived in was India Major, and the body of St. Thomas the Apostle was in that one. And he had 60 minor kings who answered to him, along with 60...
So St. Thomas is in India Major, right? We're talking South America, yeah.
62 of the strongest castles in the world. This story was retold by Frederick Zarnock in his 1879 book, De Priester Johannes.
How many books about Prester John are there? But you're just now hearing about this black man they look for in America, man? And they just found you copper-colored cons in America, man? The originators?
Using a text known as On the Arrival of the Patriarch of the Indians. Many would regard this story as mythical nonsense, but another totally unconnected text validates this visit of a man called John to Rome. The writing comes from Odo of Reims, who was in Rome when the enigmatic John made his appearance. In his letter, Odo refers to John as an archbishop rather than a patriarch, and explains that John started his travels because the king of India had died without an heir, and the people wanted a Byzantine prince to fill the position. Several applicants for the role died on the way back to India, and Emperor Manuel refused to send any more candidates, so John carried on his search by going to Rome. After giving his entertaining speech before Calixtus, John was made to swear an oath on the Bible to prove his incredible claims to the disbelieving Pope. The legend. The Prester John letter continued to describe fantastic animals such as lions, camels, elephants, and griffins, who were so strong that they could fly whilst carrying an ox to feed their young.
Didn't Khalifa have griffins too?
John also described how, quote, there are in our lands also unicorns who have in front a single horn.
Oh, man, this is a body bag for the illusion and a belly flop. Because then I say we got to get more about the connection between Prester John and these unicorns. But we have it right here on the map. Tribe. With the Arsaret flow we got before. With the tribe of Israel flow right here on the map. And the alicorn unicorn on the map. I can't make this stuff up, man. So they crossed the Antioch flow. And they set up shop here for a minute in Azeroth, in Russia, in the Rusland. That makes perfect sense. We talking unicorns up for the dismount. Hey, only the way, man. Only the way.
Horn, of which there are 3 kinds.
Uh-oh.
Green, black, and white. And it's not only animals that are fantastical in Prester John's lands, there are also bizarre-looking peoples like those that have only 1 eye.
Oh, man. And the unicorns are not just green, black, and white. Before we got it like the My Little Pony flow that they all had different magical powers, man. And all the unicorns had different magical power. Man, look, man, I'm going to stop it right here. You get the drop. Get in the Discord if you want more. Get in the Discord if you want more. We just searching for Prester John, man. We dropping that drop. Type Battle drops some drop about the Holy Land. Oh, man. This dude, man, you know, he be on that hogwash, but sometimes You gotta get the babies out the bathwater, man. Shout out to, who's this, man? Who's this, man, as we get this dismount, man? Rabbi, such and such. Okay. Rabbi Harry? All right, let's dig on it with Rabbi Harry. What you gotta say? Because we know it all. We know it all. Let's go.
And we are very happy to have him back in the studio. Hello, and good to see you.
Wonderful to be back.
So we just had a very interesting interview before the commercial break with an anthropologist and a community leader of the Lemba community in Zimbabwe. You talk a lot about this. You do a lot of coursework. So what do you have to say first about the Lemba and what makes them unique as opposed to some of the other groups that are considered lost tribes?
Correct. Lemba are fascinatingly unique because we could trace them directly to the oldest Jewish exile community in the world from Yemen. And the Yemenite Jewish community, when they came back to Israel, they had customs that were preserved for 2,000 years uninterrupted. Even some of their pronunciation of Hebrew letters were unique as far as...
Now, when they say Yemen, just remember that Joktan flow, right? So you know they're talking about Hebrews 1,000% in the Jewish Encyclopedia. Because Joktan, who is also Katan, in accordance with this statement, Arab genealogists hold Katan to be the first king of Yemen. Yeah, say it with me for the 12,000 body bag. Body bag for the illusion. Yemen has everything to do with the son of Eber. All these are Eberus, man. It got nothing to do with no Islam, man. Yemen is Hebrew talk because it's Katan talk, like the Kara Katai talk. Yemen, and they popped off. His son, successor Yaru, was the first person speaking Arabic or Arab proper, not pretending. I'm talking the genuine kinds, man. The genuine, not the non-Arab stock like the Ishmaelites migrating, like the Ishmaelites that keep on migrating, right? We ain't talking about them. Setting up harmonics on our land. We ain't talking about them. We ain't talking about these migrating Ishmaelites, man. We ain't talking about the non-Arab stock. We ain't talking about the impropers. We're talking propers and we're talking genuines, and that means we're talking Yemen. Let's go for the dismount.
As how the Ashkenazim and Sephardim pronounced their letters, but no one challenged them saying it's unauthentic. It was as authentic it can get. And so when you see the Lemba all the way down to the bottom of Africa, tracing their roots to the Yemenite Jewish community, building in the same structures and having certain traditions that are the same, and no one else in South Africa, it shows you the far-reaching scale of these Israelite customs and traditions. And not to mention, obviously, we speak about the genetic Kohen phenomenon amongst the Lemba people, that a large percentage of them have a genetic marker to be from the Kohanim, from the priests of Israel.
Tell us more about your work and the coursework that you're doing, because you are a real advocate for this topic and why it's so important in the times we're living in.
I appreciate it. I think the most important thing is like the if so what? So we've established that there are these individuals over here, but the next question is, what do we do about it? Is everyone's supposed to convert and come back to Israel? But if we think that way, there's really 100 million people around the world that have this Israelite identity coming from the tribes. And Israel's, smaller than the size of New Jersey. Is it sustainable to think in the way of having to convert and bring back? And if
Israel today is smaller than the size of New Jersey. But real Israel, we're talking about India superior.
If you look at the Lemba, they don't even want to convert. They said, why are we converting to something we're already part of? So it's really important now to bring in the writings of our sages, because we have a consensus for about 3,000 years passed on that everyone agrees on what will happen in the future times when this great awakening happens. And from my perspective, it doesn't seem like it's going to be a religious phenomenon and a conversion and a mass immigration to Israel, but it's going to be some type of change that happens in the world when people unite.
Right.
When we see clearly and keep the code, KTC and make your E.
When we're talking about the Isaiahs and the whole ingathering that we've all these years taken quite literally, it kind of, in the bigger picture, it is part of that process, even in the identifying and recognizing and feeling
Correct.
kinship to the Jewish customs?
Ingathering is a great question because there is an ingathering, and we're obviously experiencing it now, being in Jerusalem, having this, being in Israel. I live in Jerusalem, having this conversation. But there's a 2,000-year-old argument from the sages of Israel, the Mishnah. Do they return or do they not return?
He's in Jerusalem having this conversation. So you know he got to be speaking facts to some degree, at least in their minds, right? And if he's talking about Nagas being Israel, he can't be on no play.
And Rabbi Akiva says they don't return to Israel, or they don't return, and Rabbi Lezer says they do return. And anytime you see this type of argument, it's really...
We don't return to no place we never been, no hijack state, right? We return to HaWah.
Never an argument. We just have to have context for what each one's talking about. So we believe, according to the opinion of Rabbi Akiva, who says they don't return, he means to say geographically. According to the opinion of Rabbi Eliezer, who says they do return, he means to the consciousness and to the community, and we do unite and lock.
To keep the code. They just don't see clearly, but we see, like, when you return, Hosea 3, you return and seek HaWah and Kandawi.
Arms in the future. So there's no contradiction over here. So now we have a huge opportunity to make something out of 100 million people minimally who want to be part of this world peace phenomenon that we've been praying for thousands of years.
So how do we also help educate people that are also looking to connect? But there's comments like, well, you guys are imposters, you're not the real Jewish people, and then
you guys are imposters, and yada, yada. Why you say it like that? Just keep it true.
Kind of getting people on the other end of the extreme. So how do we bring it all together that everybody is on the same page?
Yeah, there's a few things. One is, they always say haters are going to hate. So I've kept my line, tunnel vision and ignored most of the hate the whole entire time. But I have learned to be sensitive to the haters, because a hater sometimes is someone in the schoolyard who's not invited to play with all the other kids, and they feel like they're on the side, which causes psychological...
Kanye West.
Correct. That causes...
Wow. I'm about to say, so they're referring to us as haters on the outside. How do we feel included with them? No. Your bigger question is, will you be included with us? We talking the book of Isaiah. Where we'll make those captives whose captives we were, right? Where you come clinging, that's what we are. Oh, they're the other side of the extreme. They're talking about the black Hebrew Israelite extremists. Like, no, we're the ones that keep the code and wakey. We're the copper color races found here, where Robert Knox is saying are rocking with Prester John right here, this is his theory for the peopling of America back in the 1800s and all this stuff. So, look, we don't got to fit into their hijack. This is what they just can't see. They think we have to follow them to some state of Israel, or they have to find a way to include us as these haters, these kids that want to play with them. We don't want to play with y'all. The Lemba tribe said they don't want to convert to y'all Talmud. Neither are the Kariots talking about converting to y'all Talmud. We're talking about keeping our code, period.
The psychological resentment when you're not on the inside of something going on, whether or not that...
She gonna throw out Kanye West, even though he be on what he on, but he's our knock. And he does tell, some truth when he tells it, you know what I'm saying? And, when he said, hey, we are those people, and Kyrie, put that tweet out or that link out, and they tried to, they tormented Kyrie over this, man. Like, to them, that's extreme, right? But we see clearly, man, we coming home.
That thing is good or not, you're going to view it as bad because you're not invited into it. So there has to be a responsible...
You ain't invited. You ain't invited. Man, who ain't invited?
Way that we create a welcoming way that everyone could at least feel part of something that has nothing to do with conversion or the right of return. And so this is what iTribe is, something I've been working on for 12 years, is basically being able to scale the access of technology and freedom that Israel provides to nations around the world, most specifically into Afghanistan, where you have like 25 million Pashtun, and into Nigeria, where you have 40 million Igbo. These are humans who are saying, we've been under war and corruption for thousands of years. please, like, we see what's going on in Israel. Come to us also. Bring us some electricity and clean water systems and some governance structure. And here we are in Israel, and the whole world's looking at us for this light and this help. And we're fighting each other on these minute things and honking at each other in traffic.
Ain't nobody looking at you for help. You can go around the world and play freedom fighter and peacekeeper if you want to. It's not going to erase your sins. You can't get recompense for what you've done to the children of Israel right here in America.
Traffic. So when
Like
the
this
Jewish,
morning.
exactly. When the Jewish people wake up and realize the redemption's knocking at our doorstep, I think we'll have our own spiritual revival also. This is what I've seen also being an educator in reform schools and conservative schools and the Orthodox and the ultra-Orthodox and the Hasidim and to Christians in all the world. Everyone gets a spiritual feeling from this concept of the tribes waking up and uniting. It speaks to everyone because I think this is what we've been waiting for.
Which is the Messianic era that everybody is talking about,
So
even with the bad stuff happening as well.
So when we synchronize with like the times and what's actually going on, and we like
Even with the best. The Messianic era is the era of the that Messianic era is the era of the HaMashiach, HaMashiach, right? Who's the messenger? Who's the shepherd, man? They got it all twisted.
we like leave the clouded vision of our own lives and our own ego, I think we'll just get this natural spiritual influx that the prophecies are coming true.
In front of our very eyes. Rabbi Harry, thank you very much as always.
Yes.
Yeah, you know how they do, man. It's a forked tongue. They gonna give you some drop. You can't throw away the babies with the bath water. You gotta get the babies out, man. But we hear what they really say, that these niggas are the truth, and they're gonna try to find a way to, merge us with them instead of them getting in line with HaWah. They're gonna try to, alchemate us into their world, say, nah, your world ain't the truth, man. Y'all need to wakey. But some of them are telling the truth about who you are. We got something dropping on the IG. Let's get it.
Years. San Francisco was there for thousands of years. Los Angeles was there for thousands of years. They were built by the indigenous people who were black and Indians as well. The black people, they weren't brought over by slaves. They are the original owners of America. Black people, African Americans. They don't come from Africa. They were already here.
One more time, man. Can we get that back for a stack, man? I think that was crystal clear. No hijacks allowed, but dodge the word black, because we ain't atrociously wicked. We ain't horrible.
Keys. Have you ever seen
We
your mama
ain't
cry
Disney.
one?
We
New
ain't
York was
horrible.
already there for thousands of years. San Francisco was there for thousands of years. Los Angeles was there for thousands of years. They were built by the indigenous people who were black and Indians as well. The black people, they weren't brought over by slaves. They are the original owners of America. Black people, African Americans. They don't come from Africa. They were already here.
Already here. You ain't black, because again, the dictionary means atrociously wicked, horrible, as black as deed, crime, dismal, mournful, calamitous. You are the copper-colored cons found here, and that's in the dictionary, 1828. Hey, man, I can't make this up. This drop got 1,044 likes. 1 + 4 + 4 is 9. We're in the spiral, man. We almost out of here, man. I mean, what's up, man? We're gonna pick up here next time, man, talking more about this hydrogen water, extra healthy or hoax. And this is a whole review on it on pmc.ncbi. Hydrogen-rich water has emerged as a novel approach in the field of health and wellness. It is believed to have therapeutic antioxidant properties. This is the anion flow we got last time. This is the anion, right? This is the fountain of youth. can neutralize harmful free radicals in the human body. It has also been shown to be beneficial in mitigating oxidative stress-induced damage through its anti-inflammatory and anti-apoptic pathways. We aim to conduct a systematic review to evaluate the potential benefits of hydrogen-rich water. Yeah, man. So we talk H3O, right? And now we're just talking that H negative. Hydrogenated by dissolving molecular hydrogen gas in the water. So to skip into the conclusion, I mean, they said, is it a healthy or hoax, right? Did they say it's a hoax? Let's see. Increased interest in continuous studies are being directed towards possible health advantages of hydrogen-rich water, negative, anion, including physical, in various areas, including physical endurance, exercise capacity, cardiovascular disease, liver function, tenderoni. Yeah. All you need is that water. Mental health, anti-aging research. What does anti-aging have to do with the fountain of youth, man? This is all we're talking about. Do we gotta go to the fountain, or can we bring the fountain to us, right? Can we bring the fountain to our homes? Can we bring it to the cons? So we've been reconning the Kangen water in Japan and different things because, you know, it's connected with this anti-aging. These potential consequences have aroused debate in the scientific medical industries. Even though there's a great potential in understanding the benefits of hydrogen-rich water, we still have to overcome existing limitations. We need more studies, a larger sample size. They got to figure some stuff out, but we already see clearly. We're talking anti-aging water. You're talking anion. This is why we talking anion, because they talking anion. Kingdom of anion, kingdom of this this richness, right? But the water, the health, the anti-aging, the fountain of youth, the Garden of Eden is connected with anion, right? Anion. I can't ignore it. We can't ignore it. They can't ignore it, which is why they put it right here on the maps, man. Up to David Rumsey Map Collection. We still just talking anion. Straight to anion. Primary water. Primary mem sauce. So I'll leave this link again. What is the Kangen water? Because they're over there alkalining their water, ionizer. They're adding, you know, this extra hydrogen to get this super water in Japan, right? Anti-aging. Hydrogen anion. H negative. Negative is negative, right? Let's go. And then how does it connect with the borderline and the boundaries of this anion situation or anion? What does it have to do with the magmatic water, which is the primary water? Yosef, take the real. Magmatic water, also known as juvenile water, is an aqueous phase of equilibrium with minerals that have dissolved by magma. So these volcanoes are letting off primary steam, which is getting collected in the fissures in the rocks as it rises up. This is fresh water, and the steam then turns into these springs and these water. And this is how Moses is getting water out the rock, because the steam from the magma water is charged up, in the igneous rocks, right? Now Moses is able to hit the rock and get the water from the magma, the minerals, the crystals, man, all the drop. I'm just, you know, hey, we'll take our time next time on this. Stephen Reese, man, who's, you know, Yosef hit me to Stephen Ernst Reese, but, you know, he's the one breaking down this mineralogies, man, and where to find the primary mem salts, where to find the new water, fresh-born water, earth-generated water, known as primary water. So Stephen Reese did a whole interview and he broke all this stuff down beautifully. Yosef did a 3-part series on it, man, which we'll touch on, we'll jump into, and press the 151, because we need the mem, because you can't stop the mem. Get in Yosef's class from Ahab to the Khan. Click the link below, man. Get all the drop. He got part 3. He got, hey, man, let's go, man. Part 2, part 3. I'm just belly flopping in part 1, man, with Yosef, the real. Can you get some mem sauce?
That's something that's people playing trick.
Let's get it right here.
And we buying bullshit on the shelf.
And this is that Stephen Reese cat we just talked about. 1985 interview. Yosef, take the real. There you go for the dismount.
Tired of the lies, people. You heard me? I'm tired of the lies.
Kana.
I'm trying to get some real mem in me, you heard me?
Mem sauce. Water.
And out way back, and out actually 8,000, 7,500, 9,000 feet elevation, usually in the granitic system, is not explained. We have 2 wells in America, or springs in America. They produce 800 million daily. One is in Missouri and the other is in the desert in western Oregon.
800 million
gallons
per minute.
Right. And 8,000, 7,500, 9,000 feet elevation, usually in the granitic system, is not explained. We have 2 wells in America, or springs in America. They produce 800 million daily. One is in Missouri and the other is in the desert in western Oregon.
800 million
gallons
per minute.
Right. Explained. We have 2 wells in America, or springs in America. They produce 800 million daily. One is
800 million gallons of water per minute. That's fresh water that you don't got to go to your grocery store. That's hydrogen negative. You know what I'm saying? That's anion, man.
800 million daily, my dude.
Millie.
And you gonna sit up here and tax us on some mem?
Man. Chapter. Hijack City.
Sometimes I can't really put my grasp around it, you heard me? Because it's so, it gets so heated, you heard me? I just be wanting to, I'm like, damn, man, look, man.
Chop them up.
800 million gallons of water, 2 wells in America.
Wow.
All right?
I need that. We need that.
So who's rocking with them? Because them wells been there.
We need that.
Indigenous people, the indigenous, all right? The copper color, all right, of Tamar, okay? Tamar, all right? Let's go.
Tau.
Let's get this, man.
Tau.
Wells that been here, man. Been here, man.
One is in Missouri and the other is in the America, or springs in America. They produce 800 million daily. One is in Missouri and the other is in the desert in western Oregon.
800 million
gallons
per minute.
Right. And
per day.
The one in
okay, 800 million gallons of water a day, and he has 2 wells in America, tapped in with the anion flow. You buy land now, you gotta buy water rights and all this stuff like that, but the water is ours, the water is yours. We got fresh born water being produced by all this volcanic magma, magmatic water, everything they're calling it, mineral enriched, hydrogen enriched, anion enriched, super water fountain of youth enriched, my nigga. And it's for you, man. This is the battle plan. This is restoration we talking about, man. Halal HaWah.
Oregon, western desert of Oregon, is producing the Day River. So, where did it come from? If that was rainwater, all the rain in the state of Oregon and annual precipitation wouldn't flow that spring 1 month a year.
Yeah.
The river flows 12 months a year.
Yeah, but it's flowing 12 months, yeah.
But they try to act like this water cycle comes from the rain, and the rain, it has to rain, and then the water gets collected from the rain. No, the water comes straight from the volcanoes, from the magma, from the primary steam, man. God, and this primary steam, you know, goes through these fissures, man. You know, Yosef breaks it down beautifully, man. I just, you know, he starts with the interview, but he goes, you know, into a beautiful diagramming on what's popping with the steams, man. He got part 1, 2, and 3. HaWah. That water. Looking at these rain cycles, these water cycles. They tell us anything now. It comes from below, not above. My noggin, and it pops right out. The rocks, just look at Mount Roraima, how these mountains have all this water pouring out of it. It's not because of the rain. It's because they're collecting it from the primary steam from the volcanoes that gets, you know, brought up like an elevator. The steam rises, they collecting the rocks, and then bang, water, freshborn water, man, new water, man, primary water, man. They can't stop the mem because they ain't got no mem. Yosef put together a classic project called You Can't Stop the Mem. Y'all mind if we out of here on this one, man? The Water for Surfing the Wave with a con and 150 installments of your Prester John investigation, man. This is cause for celebration, man.
We got this here.
Let's
You
go.
Can't Stop the Mem album dropping by Yosef, the
Real. Take the wheel.
So, I think this album got 10 tracks. I believe. Don't quote me on it. It's been a minute. Album been done for a minute. I'm just not getting around to release it to y'all. Just a lot of things going on. But what time better than to bring in a new year?
Let's go.
Most High has granted us to see.
Wow.
And,
Blue, purple, red.
In the process of that, we're gonna drop You Can't Stop the Mem album.
Blue, purple, red.
Enjoy your year. Enjoy your year, Hebrew. So let's get into it. Let's get into this album. First track, it's the intro. Pretty much, I had a vision of storyline in this album with skits. It didn't go how I wanted it to go, but nonetheless, I still got a nice masterpiece here to work with. I was able to collaborate with my jigger, Five Eyes.
Yeah.
He was able to give me a lot of pointers, a lot of tips. We talk a lot as far as music goes.
MHOE.
Where we see each other. And he was very resourceful with the information, and he was one of the first people that listened to the album, and yes, he got a sneak peek probably about a year ago or less than that. But like I said, we got like 9 or 10 tracks, I believe, and it's kind of a story-based line album I dropped. And we'll start with the intro. Pretty much, the storyline is this guy, this person, right? Yosef, right? He leaves his country. He leaves where his land, where he's from, because there's no mem. Obviously, the name of the album is You Can't Stop the Mem. So everything is happening, you know. So what he's doing is he's trying to gain access to Anion. He's trying to gain access to the kingdom. He's trying to bring Mem sauce, the product, to the Khan. Okay. And by doing so, he has to be able to move as a Hebrew, be able to denounce everything and understand ways of the Most High. And this was the storyline that I initially had for it as far as the skits. I went through about maybe 7 tracks with skits, but in the end, when it was all said and done, I didn't care for it, the layout, but maybe under a different watch, a different dominion, maybe it could have been something special. But nonetheless, let's go. Let's pop it off. You can't stop the mem. You feeling me?
Like, blue, purple, red, white, let it go. Thread, look at the tiles. Look at the tiles.
Yours
Let's
truly,
go.
yourself. Can't stop. No losses. Straight down. Back against the wall.
Pop off yourself. Let's go.
Let's get it. You ain't about what I'm about. Call me Neo, bitch. I'm a real one. So they gon' test me. Try to leave me where me done. I say come fuck with me. I got toys to throw away, son. Think you came up on what's mine? Boy, I laugh at the fucking clown. They find it wine and dine. Bases loaded, bitch. Hip gon' get it shine. Getting it out the mud since I backed up my first dime. See, you don't know the grind. I came up from nothing. Let the streets co-sign. Had to find myself self-made like Tony. I put it together. Established my credentials. My GPA a beast, impeccable. I hit the streets like the pandemic. Got my grades up, so I became something. I ain't got shit to prove, I got shit to do. Fresh out the ether, fresh out my sleep. This first degree premeditated. Fuck you and your bitch, never gave a fuck about you. See him out the door. He used to be MOB. Now it's MHOE. Tripping in that mem sauce. You can't stop the mem. No filters. Yourself, all smoke. Fuck all you rappers. It's yourself. Back like I never left. I'll hold the torch for Nip and say fuck you, Drake. Softer than cake. Industry fucking niggas like hot cakes. Like Beyonce, they want jelly. Nothing but hot lead for their belly. It's a fucking mockery. I'm glad I'm not an industry bitch. Or fuck with Hollywood. I'd rather die in the streets and speak the real than affiliate myself with unloyalty. Straight like that. I'm talking about, no hook, no filters,
No Funyuns, man.
all smoke. It's yourself, fucks with me. We in the trenches, y'all sitting benches. My presence sparked the torch in the room. The room I go boom, boom, boom. Like that last and dreadful day. Death before dishonor, Templar shit. Hex my brethren, read if he got the proceeds. I still bleed for the streets. Put the price on my head. I cut my own head. Watch the body collapse. Witness the Ruach relapse. Romani strong.
You do.
Deuteronomy flow. Let's go.
HIP in the building.
Mem sauce flowing. Welcome to the new beginning. You'll end it. Keep it stupid, dumb. Keep it moving on the trunk. Gonna have my hand numb. I put crumbs together to feed my appetite. Got it out the mud before you was thought of. Now I got me right. Waiting on the dome of the crack. Waiting on the kite. Waiting on that wheel to take flight. How my say hold the time title till it all bounce back.
There we go.
Hey, I might say hold the con title.
Let's go. Straight like that. Pop
Straight like
on.
Bonnie, yourself. Straight like that.
Straight like that.
Mem sauce at your front door, now how you want it? Straight like that. Poppin' zinc, make
Straight
my
like
drink
that.
all day like aquas wearing pink. Yourself get it poppin' like the chronic. Thought you think about the mem sauce link. Ain't it ironic? OTC drugs, full hijack, straight vomit. Me come out of sauce, got your own flaws. Smooth like applesauce. Chose the wire, hit a mile like a Prester. Chili off the rector. Come on, stamina to continue. Blue Marvel, you are the get to go to. Or I go to. Come on, get on my level. I've been charged up since I was a little one. Life on the run, living and feeling like it's just me. One and done. Walking alone ain't fun. But what got me so I don't need the big guns. Plus, mem technique on the come up, son. Shit, I can't run. Yourself front lines is why I say I'm done. So fuck what you talking about. Break down copper,
coming out the dropper. Drippity drop, hip hop, stop, get right. Pop to my people, get right. Gripping the Mata Shakina unlock. Better take my days and
Let's
so
go.
I'm so set your front, don't know how you want it. Straight like that.
Straight like
Yourself. I say, Mim, so set your front, don't know how you want it.
Straight like that.
Ain't no secret, the feds drying up lake needs. I said the feds drying up lake needs. Tell them Jews that are fake seeds. Mim sauce, cream of the crop. Elijah made do drop by yourself brewing up. It's all happening, it's all happening. Can't stop, won't stop until the big top pops. Prester chosen one, call me elect. Bringing havoc upon those that are protected upon us. I say Mim sauce, set your front, don't know how you want it. Straight like that.
Straight like that.
Yourself.
Straight like that. A better future.
Here is Abba, my letter towards a better future. No checkers, chase, I'ma go get her. Abba, my letter towards a better future.
Let's go, 150, man.
I'ma go get her. Start by saying first I'm begging for patience, cause I'm impatient like estrus, but determined like the endless. Restless, thou art that cause you spared us. Please believe round zero brings no pleasure. I know y'all know the pressure upon us. It's horrendous. Teardrops on this hit kite, ripping my timepiece, fighting for dear life. The breath, 9 to 5, taking my life. We dropping like flies on the streets. Dearest Abba, my letter towards a better future. No checkers, chess, I'ma go get her. Abba, my letter towards a better future. No checkers, chess, I'ma go get her. They say keep them in the ghetto, the slums, el barrio, all Jerusalem. Keep them oppressed. They say forever perpetual servitude. Meanwhile, they never serve you. Wow. Clever how we dance into their flute. You see, it ain't about your letter to the president. I'm sending this type past the firmament. I represent 100%. Proof in the code, run it back to Mem, bring it back. The sauce in my veins, ready to attack. My letter towards a better future. No checkers, chess, I'ma go get her. Abba, my letter towards a better future. No checkers, chess, I'ma go get her. You see, this be addressed to the Most High himself. You're over everything, boss, everything. My power, there can only be one king. From Shamma'im, locked in the matrix, swinging like Tyson. Dracon's over the horizon, boost the amperage. This message gotta pass the firmament. We on begging knees, no longer wish to LIVE in deception. We need guidance under a new supervision. Wisdom's assistance be clarification, total protection. Counseling of overstanding abominations. It's discriminations against your children. Here is Abba, my letter towards a better future. No checkers, chess, I'ma go get her. Abba, my letter towards a better future. No checkers, chess, I'ma go get her.
It's redemption season, guys.
Straight like that.
Wakey, yourself.
The water for your vibrations. As we lay this foundation of you can't stop the mem, inspired by their works, their energy. As we wrap it up, we get to this last Trizak, cakes or raisins. You feel me? The title says it all. Say no more.
Oh, how Sheba, how you forgot the power. Owner raisin cakes to be rotten. 15 shekels of silver for a home and a half of barley. Redemption, keep it Levitical. You shall not play the harlot. Oh, Hasharella, how you forgotten the powwow. Recall the member, recall the flood. Oh, my, how you hold it away. Call on HaWah to wash your sins away. Let the Ramani code pay the way. And just like that, let HaWah say your vows upon pray. Day after day, remember the pain you brought Big Mama, Big Papa. Now it's all drama causing trauma. Yosef bleeding the mic, that Raja and Raja Shala, Dalai Lama. Drop everybody in a coma. Tick-tock goes my clock, and I don't run with karma. Positive vibrations, seeking Shekinah. I run with my aces, keep them on me. My power, my glory, what that is. They all up in my bed. No cakes or raisins here. We gon' keep it Levitical. I don't play the harlot. Most high I get. I let the beat play.
Top of the Solbone season, man.
Oh, Hasharella, how you forgot the powwow. Oh, the raisin cakes that be rock. 15 shekels of silver for a home and a half of barley. Redemption, keep it Levitical. You shall not play the harlot. Oh, Hasharella, how you forgot the powwow. Oh, Hasharella, keep your raisin cakes. Oh, Hasharella, your ruach ain't awake. Your enemies took it, now they take. Know what's at stake. No blood on your plate. No blood in your cup. No mistakes. Fake doctrines put your soul at risk. Your people lost faith in Moshe, so they picked up Christ and Slayer. I say you ain't headed my way. The path too narrow to sway. Turn my back on them, never straight. Cause Torah in me, #1 rule, keep the law like ODB. I love my connection raw. Oh baby, I like it raw. No middleman, no preacher man, no pastor man. Fuck Vatukan, shoot me down. HaWah, send another Yosef down. Guaranteed to spin back around for no losses. It's been Presters on top of Presters. No excuses. Refuse it, well, forever abuses. It's 7 layers of smoke. Extras. Straight like that. You can't stop the milk.
There you have it, my people. Straight like that. You can't stop the milk. The water for joining me. The water for your vibration. Many the roots to the tribe.
Shalom. Okay. See y'all the next.